Like somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I am joined by the one and only Christopher Duarte, aka Parasite. We got the one and only Patrick Price, aka Aches. And then, of course, we got the executive producer, the moron himself, Mr. Benji Nassi. Gentlemen, how are we? How are we feeling? What's going on? What's the energy like? Ben, talk to me.
Go fuck yourself.
My bad, shit. My bad. Jesus Christ, man. You didn't have to start it like that.
Bro, you roasted me off the rip with the
Yeah, I
fucking
did.
intro.
Yeah, I did.
You got nothing for me today, bro.
Yeah, I did. Man, how's FIFA going? You getting slammed?
No, we didn't lose a single match, bro.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
about. We rage
about.
quit our last 3 games we played. We're actually losing it because we're trying to play a full game.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a little update. Played Ben in a best of 3. Smoked his ass. That haven't played the game in months. Haven't played FIFA in years.
Hold up. You're saying it was a smoke show. I won the first game, and then you asked to play a best of 3. I said bet. You won the second game. I came back from a 3-0 deficit.
Because I was laughing so hard because you kept hitting the post. So I just couldn't stop laughing.
And then we had to play a 4th game, and you won the 4th game. So that's how they went down. You didn't smoke me. It was a good, gritty series. And to be honest, I won the first match. And technically, you know, I out of the kindness of my heart, you know, ran it back in a best of 3.
What?
That's the polite thing to do.
Slay it. Talk to me, Slay. This guy's been playing FIFA for years. For money, he plays it every day. I haven't played it in forever. Like I hopped on, slammed, and then I played Gersh. It was 6-0 at half, and he rage quit. Can you believe that, Slay?
I mean, that's just what I expect, Tom. That's just what I expect. I also saw the clips of you back in the day with Ben in the Columbus apartments, and you were having him in FIFA.
You saw that? You saw that? The clip of me and Ben.
Some old school clips. Right
Man,
there.
Ben looked really young, and I saw this little gift that Gersh tweeted out here. I'll actually pull it up. This was actually fucking hilarious. But I saw a little gift that Gersh tweeted out. Ben, you were looking good, my man. You were looking fucking good, bro.
Bro,
yeah, what happened?
I look so fucking young, dude.
Look at this. My man Benji Nassim looks like he's 20 years old.
My haircut was horrible, bro. Those were tough times.
Look at this, folks. Look at Benji. Look at this guy.
Holy!
Look at this guy, ladies and gentlemen. Man.
Yo, this is our winter time. I think I still have that fucking hat that's on the table.
Bro, is that dude? Is Ben Benjamin Button?
He's Benjamin fucking. Who the fuck is Benjamin Buttons? Who the fuck is that?
The guy that like travels or he like gets younger or something. I forgot.
Oh,
it's like a movie. You ever watch that shit?
No,
Nah.
he started as an old man.
He starts off as old and ages in reverse. That's what it is.
Oh shit. Well, listen, Ben. It was an absolute pleasure playing FIFA with you back in those days, man. Those were the good days, Ben. Being at the league, man. Playing a LAN league. I mean, who would have thought that back in the day we were playing LAN leagues? I mean, what happened? What the hell happened, guys?
CDL COVID.
Yeah, but there's no I mean, there's still COVID, but like there's no COVID anymore in terms of like I think now they could do it again type shit. Like there's COVID,
Well, I mean,
obviously.
We're just in a you know, an era of esports where, you know, the easy 0-ish interest rate venture capital money, corporate debt money is just not available anymore. Investments kind of dried up in the esports space, and we're at a point where, you know, belts are tightening across a lot of parts of the sector, and people are revenue focused. And you know, a LAN league would be great, but some of these teams don't want to burden the cost of travel and accommodations. The league doesn't want to burden the cost of travel accommodations, and Activision doesn't have a studio anymore. I've driven by the old MLG studio. It's by where I get, you know, fitted for golf.
Well, maybe they should use the fucking $1 billion they make from selling their game to get themselves a fucking studio. How about that, Benji?
They used to have the Jimmy Carson fucking studio. They don't got that shit anymore. Old Overwatch studio, that's gone.
Well, those studios were sick too. Those studios were fire.
They use Esports Engine already, and Esports Engine has studios
In Burbank.
Everywhere.
Yeah. What's wrong? What does that mean in
everywhere.
Burbank? Okay, fly the players out to Burbank.
People are gonna want to live in Burbank.
Why not?
They don't gotta live there. They could live like North LA.
Yeah, bro.
No, you don't have to live there, bro. You can just visit.
Listen, Ben. There's a lot of money invested into this industry. Stop cheesing, bro. All right, we need to get back to a LAN league. We got to get back to that. That we need to go back to where it was because it's important, bro. We're playing online. Online matches mean too much. Chris, how you doing today? You doing good?
Yeah, bro, I've been grinding Diablo, and then we got your creator tournament tomorrow, which I'll be playing in. So,
oh yeah, bro, you excited for that or what?
Yeah, bro, I'm actually, dude, I'm literally playing with Doug's challenger team.
Yeah, you robbed his team in broad daylight, bro. You robbed it.
Listen, bro, I didn't know he was playing. I made moves. That's all I'm saying.
That's actually crazy, Chris. You actually robbed his team. He was pissed about it, bro. He said, "Nah."
I got the frog on my team, bro. I got Snoopy.
Well, let's take a look at some of these teams, man.
Oh, Tom, you didn't ask me how I was doing.
Slay, I was definitely gonna get this, Slay. He just kind of brought it up. You know what I mean? He brought it up, just like Ben. You know what I'm saying? Just like, but no. First off, Slay, how are you, bro? How's XDefiant going? How's everything doing? How are you, Pat? Talk to me.
I'm good, Tom. I'm busy, but I'm good. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. I'll be flying out to your neck of the woods. I'll be in LA. Ubisoft Forward is happening on Monday, so I'll be out in LA this weekend for that. And yeah, just getting some work done, Tom. You know, I've been busy this week. Yep. We have this new thing, Tom, at Ubisoft. It's actually called Dev Hour. Like it's like an hour of dev time. I really think other studios should do that.
So what is it? What is Dev Hour? Exactly? What does that entail? What do you do during Dev Hour?
Yeah, so Dev Hour is just devour these motherfucking nuts in your mouth.
Slayer, you got me good, Slayer. You got me fucking good. Oh, man.
Got him.
Man, it's never a dull day with the motherfucking Slay, man.
That was a good one. I like that.
It's an absolute pleasure.
That was a good one.
I would have fell for it if you asked me. In my head, I was like, what's Dev Hour?
Man, nah, this guy Slay is unbelievable. This guy's something else, man. Make some noise for the Slayer. It's always a pleasure, Pat. I'm glad you're doing good. Glad everything's going good on the XDefiant side of things. Down to talk about a little bit of COD and get your thoughts on some of these things. First and foremost, Pat, what do you think about these teams I was able to get for this tournament? Take a look at this fucking tournament.
This is impressive recruiting.
You like this recruiting? You like this?
Impressive recruiting.
Come on,
I don't even
bro.
think Activision with their highest budget has done recruiting this good, Tom.
I mean, look at these teams. I got an all-girls team. Shout out to Hitch. He got the girls team in there. I think that's a very talented roster. I think some people underestimate them, especially going into an S&D tournament. But when you look at
bracket up.
I made a bracket. I could get the bracket for you, but
we should do predictions.
Yeah, we could maybe do a predictions. I can have like Val's or Gersh or somebody make a bracket while we do a tier list, and then we'll pull it up at the end and we'll go through it. But I mean, judging based off paper, I know Chris, you're in the tournament, so I can't really ask you. But Pat, Ben, who looks the strongest on paper? It's a full S&D tournament. First place gets $10,000. 16 teams, single elimination, best of 3 up into the grand final. We're gonna do a best of 5. Of course, we could do other best of 5s in other rounds as well if the pros are up for it. But I know it's gonna be late. They're gonna be doing it after scrims, so it's up to them. But who do you guys think has the best team here?
I think that number 2, Skies' team, is probably the best team. I think second is probably Scrappy's team. I'm not gonna gas my team at all here, by the way.
Okay.
But my team, my top 2 are definitely Skies, Scrappy, Draza. That's probably my top 3.
The team 4 for sure.
Team 4's got a great team. Yes, that's a good team.
Bro, Hydra literally has like a 1.4 in S&D on the season.
Yeah, 4's got a really good team.
Yeah, and they got some good optic chemistry with the ARs right there.
Ghosty, Dashy, Kleenex, and Hydra Maro.
I think it's a pretty deep tournament. Like, maybe we shouldn't sleep on the full Spanish team. Like, you got Cammy, Inside Hixie, and Bance. There's a lot of chemistry right there.
Oh, is that Spanish team really the Miami Heretics?
I don't know, Slay. It's what I'm thinking, Slay. It's what I'm thinking. It looks like it, right? I feel like that would be a nice team, too. Vico, Real, Super, and Eric Boom.
They're all submachine gun players. Except for Super. He's
subs
an AR.
could turn to ARs. Well, you said except for Super, he's an AR?
I think so. I think he ended the
then
year
I'm
on
sure
AR.
Eric Boom or Real could switch over to a flex role. I'm sure one of them may be able to do it, or maybe Vico. You know, I don't think it's that big of a problem. I see you cheesing over there, Chris. What, you don't think they could do it?
No, I just think that's not their roles.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think that's their roles.
Yeah, I don't know, but I am really excited for this tournament. It's going to be, I just feel like it's kind of bringing back like the old school S&D vibes, just like those late night S&D tournaments with everybody in them. That's kind of like the vibe I was going for. Obviously setting it up with Activision and FaZe Clan. Shout out to FaZe Clan, because this wouldn't be possible without them. But they're really supportive. I'm trying to bring back some of this stuff and kind of helping me. I just kind of run through my plans with them, and they always seem very supportive and trying to help me out. And this is kind of like the first step to that. So really excited for this tournament. Really excited to see how the players come out. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be streaming for the most part. We might even get some observers. We might have We Are Clutch GG. You guys know them from Challengers, helping us observe, and then of course Boom TV is going to be helping us with the bracket and everything. But super excited. We got the old Boston back. well, kind of close to the old Boston. Methods, Beans, Awakening, Nero. We got Doug Censor Martin and his team. He's all pissed off. We matched him up against Parasite's team round 1 because he was chirping him. So he said, you know what? Let's throw him up round 1. See what they can do. But there's a lot of great teams, man. It's a lot of great teams. I think that Shotzi, Hook, Neptune, Mohawk is a good S&D team, too. That team might turn some heads. A lot of good teams. I'm excited to see Illy back in there. You can see Draza, Envoy, Prolute, and Illy. I think that's a good team. I think a lot of people want to see Illy play and kind of see what he's been up to. So a lot going on, folks. A lot going on with the tournament. Really excited for that one. That's going to be at 5:30 PST Pacific time. That's 8:30 Eastern tomorrow on Friday. Ready to go. Ready to lock in. Guys, I want to go into a little clip here and start things off. We got a little clip here from Nadeshot during his podcast. Let's tune in and see what Nadeshot had to say, and then we'll give our thoughts.
If I'm the GM, bro, I would have brought Censor up for champs. If you're subbing somebody out, at least you've seen Censor win. I know it was a long time ago, but I don't think people understand. I would take Censor over most players to do a last-second roster swap because I know he's not going to fold when he needs to.
Interesting. I didn't actually consider this.
I know people are going to call me fucking crazy, and I probably won't have many people agree with me other than Doug Censor Martin, but I've seen matches in tournaments where no matter what you think about him as an individual player, the guy just steps up. You know, and that's the biggest thing. And we talked about this yesterday, so I'm trying not too much to talk about FaZe and their performances up to this point. But some players just know how to win. And it might not come down to the stat sheet. And that's the other conundrum that you find in the Call of Duty community. People don't pay enough attention to what has happened in the last 10 minutes of Hardpoint. Like, you see the momentum shifts. You see getting spawns and slaying out, all these things. But it really comes down to the micro decisions that you watch players make on the minimap and if they position themselves at the right time in the right moments of the game and won the important gunfights. You could go 15 and 23, 15 and fucking 30 in
7
a
and 32.
But if those 15 were the most impactful kills that you have gotten, and you're playing the map the right way, even if you're not getting the kills in the right situation that you're putting yourself in, you're still freeing up other parts of the map, other opportunities for your teammates.
All right, that's going to do it for the clip.
Yo,
First and foremost, before you go, show some love to Jack, man. My man's lost a lot of weight, bro. My man Jack is looking like $1 million fucking dollars from top to bottom. Get a whack in the chat from my man Jack Dunlop. Courage looking good. But go ahead, Chris. What were you going to say?
So he said, you know, game-winning plays. So you lost when you went 7 and 32.
Yeah, but that's because my teammates were cheesing me up 100. It completely checked us out as a unit, as a team. We were up 100. I had 3. And then somebody said, I think it was Shotzi, that motherfucker. He said 3.
3?
3? And then everybody started laughing, checked us, and then we just couldn't win a rotation, bro. You know what I mean? That's why it's important to get a good team culture and to get people who respect your plays on a map. Let's go back to the clip, Chris. Fucking asshole, motherfucker. Pat, let's start with you. What do you think about Nadeshot's opinions? Do you agree with Nade? Do you not agree with him? I mean, how are you feeling about what he just said?
Tom, I think this is less about do I agree with Nade. To me, it sounds like Nade watched the flank. He watched the reverse sweep, and he copied everything I said, Tom.
No way, Slayer. You 10.
I've
that
been saying
Nadeshot
this.
copied your take. Pat, is that what you're saying?
I've been saying this, Tom, that Boston should have subbed Dub in. It made sense. Doug needed to be in.
Then I thought this was an interesting response here coming out of Beans as well.
He stole my whole flow.
He stole your whole flow, bar for bar, word for word. But take a look at this. Beans said, well, agree to disagree in response to the clip. I thought that was interesting coming in from Beans. Obviously, of course, Beans is probably going to disagree because if Doug comes in and they keep another sub, obviously one of the ARs are going to go. I'm not sure which AR that would probably be.
Probably be Beans.
You think so? You think it'd be Beans? I feel like Beans has been pretty good for them. I feel like he hasn't been.
Who's better, Beans or Awakening?
Yeah, it's like you're not going to drop Big Wake, right?
I mean, I don't know. Probably not. I mean,
nah, you'd be a psychopath to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you could do like Doug, and you could do Nero or Vivid, whatever they want to do with the subs. Crap. I mean, I just want them to have fucking 2 subs, 2 ARs. But right now, I feel like they kind of have like 3 like kind of roam like kill hordes in a way. We've talked about Boston a lot. I mean, in terms of like where they are as a roster, but yeah, you're right. It could be Beans. It could be. But Chris, what do you think? What do you think about all this? Doug coming in. I mean, I have talked about it a little bit. Listen, one tournament on the line. You're making a change. The team has had selfishness problems all year.
Don't put me on the spot.
Why
like this,
not
man.
bring
You want me
in
to go first, Chris? 'Cause
one
I
of the
got
most
some thoughts.
unselfish players to ever play the game?
Oh shit! Listen, as much as I like Doug, listen, Beans, Kremp, Donnie, all these people, played with Doug, and unless they got rid of Beans and Doug, not a good match. They were getting top 16 and pretty poor placements back when Beans and Doug were on the team in the academy roster. It wasn't until Doug picked up Pentagram and Snoopy and stuff until they started, playing better at LAN tournaments. So, yeah, not a good mix. So you would have to get rid of Beans. You couldn't sub in Doug without getting rid of Beans here. And that would mean Doug has to run an AR.
Wait, Doug's been running an AR. Why is that?
Doug can do anything.
Strange?
He can do anything you want him to do. That's what Doug does.
Doug has been running an AR for like months.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Doug would have to run an AR.
Ben, what are your thoughts about the whole thing?
My thoughts were, I don't think Doug should have tweeted anything because we should have Beans tweet on screen. That was basically a response to Doug. Doug basically retweeted the Nadeshot thing and thanked Nadeshot, and then he followed it up like 15 minutes later, like kind of walking it back, saying like, I respect Denz's decision, blah, 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 blah. And my thought is like, bro, if I'm Kremp, Snoopy, Beans, and Big Wake, and I see this guy fucking Doug Censor Martin, who's on our academy team, creating a giant distraction around our fucking team, I'd be pissed. That probably explains why Beans fucking tweeted it.
Wait, creating a distraction around the team?
Well, listen, I mean, we've been talking about this. They should call up Doug instead of Snoopy thing for a while. And I'm sure the players are fucking annoyed about hearing us talk about it, about hearing fucking Nadeshot talk about it twice on 2 different shows. Like, I would assume that's why Beans replied, because Doug replied to Nadeshot thing, thinking, Matt, if I'm a player currently on Boston and I hear Doug talking about all this team culture shit, at the same time he's trying to snake his way onto our fucking team, I'd be pissed.
But they tried to snake his challengers team from him.
They're not snaking his challengers team.
Reese did, to be fair. And say Reese.
Yeah, and also, like I said, I just don't think Beans and Doug is a good match. So if you did bring on Doug, you'd have to do it for Beans. You couldn't do it for Snoopy.
Why are we acting like that's a bad move? I mean,
Doug for Beans.
I'm sorry, but like we're talking about Beans like he's some superstar here. Let's get back down to reality.
Yeah, he's a good player though. He's a good player though.
Yeah. But he's not like some superstar.
People make fun of his comms and all that stuff, and his like duds.
That's a meme. That's a meme though.
He had a pretty good stage overall in terms of individual performance. So.
Yeah, Beans is a good player. He's been a good player for them. It's not talent with Boston. It's a lot of other things. But go ahead, Ben.
Doug's numbers in the elite this season: overall 0.78, 0.8 in a hard point, 0.73 in S&D, 0.76 in control. Like, are you comfortable bringing in someone with that slaying performance in Challengers Elite?
Yeah, but the thing is,
Boston's not a team that needs kills. They're not a team that needs somebody dropping another 1.2. They need exactly the opposite.
Are you gonna win if your AR is dropping a 0.7?
Wait, hold on. I will say this. We know how like we call some players like noob slayers, right? Like they fry against bad players, but like against good players they're like kind of mid. Doug's the opposite. Like I feel like Doug gets shit on versus bad players, but like versus good players, like people that he highly respects or like has that kind of like mental aspect with, Doug plays way better. He plays way better when like the pressure's on him when the situation matters.
Doug is better on LAN also, mind you, because so this is the reason why Boston Academy did not qualify for champs. They went to all the LANs, and besides the ones when Beans was on the roster, which I think was the first 2, I think they've gone like top 3 or something like that at the last like 3. The last 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure it was 3.
Because they've only lost to the winners of the tournament.
The last 2 lands, because there's no major.
Oh, there was no third one. Yeah.
So it was just Optic.
Yeah. So the 2 lands, whenever Beans left the roster and went to the pro team that they went to, they got top 3 twice. in their challenger elites, they haven't been able to find success. They're just not an online team, and it ended up biting them in the ass at the end of the year. So, Doug is one of those people that does get better on LAN.
All I'm saying is I've watched a lot of Boston Academy play LAN and online. I don't think, especially considering that Optic is their first opponent at champs, I just don't think that would be a wise move for them. I don't think it improves your chance of winning. In fact, it probably adds more confidence to Optic, to be honest, and I just don't think that's the right move.
Yeah,
so
overconfidence, and then they get booty clapped by Doug right off the bat.
You don't want Optic to be. You don't want them to be overconfident.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
booty clap.
I just feel like there are a lot of Doug supporters out there that just want to set Doug up to come in the team and fail. They can play both sides of this, and I'm just trying to be a realist. So, like, I don't think that would be the right move.
Well, Doug Censor Martin, obviously, he really loved what Nadeshot had to say. He was obviously really happy about that. I know Doug's been trying to get in there, but we know what roster Boston is going into. Obviously, we're doing a tier list, so we'll talk about the rosters as we go to the tier list. But before we get into the tier list, and of course, we also got a post on Reddit. We're going to answer some questions for y'all. I want to talk about some things that are going on. One of them going into champs that I want to talk about is live pinging. Apparently, live pings have been removed from CDL accounts. Talk to me a little bit about live ping. I mean, Chris, you might know a lot about this, but has that been abused all year? Has that been something that, you know, under the table, under the radar, some players have been abusing that live pinging bullshit?
From watching a lot, I don't think many people have been abusing it. I think it's something that kind of people just kept under wraps and only started realizing they can do. But basically what it does is you ping someone and you see their diamond basically anywhere on the map for a certain period of time. So there's a select few places that are very useful for that. For example, if you're top bed and you look at towards the P4 side of hotel, if you live ping them from top bed, you can essentially just wall bang them through the top of the bed. So I don't think a lot of people have been abusing it, at least notable players. I think it only recently started surfacing.
I don't know about that, Chris. I've been at events watching people scrim, and almost every top team you know of has been.
I think there's there's only a certain amount of players that have been doing it, like Sky, Celium.
Yeah, usually the ARs on the team have been doing it, but it's super,
I think there's a couple.
Super busted. When you can see that diamond through the wall, it's super busted because a lot of shit can be banged in this game. You can pre-fire stuff. Like, I just think it's not really intended for multiplayer, and I'm glad that they got rid of it going into the biggest event of the season. Yeah,
it was kind of cheese. You could see that some players, they were just hitting these crazy wall bangs and shit, like not even like common wall bang spots and like lineups. You could tell that people were just getting pinged through walls, and they were able to just. And bro, I was playing the other day. I'm mind blown. You can literally shoot through everything in this game with a scar. You can shoot through everything. You can even shoot through some things with a sub, which I think is kind of crazy. I wish it wasn't like that. I don't really like some of this wallbanging cheese. I didn't realize how bad it was, and so I started playing the game a little bit more. But the wallbanging is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Going back for a couple of games now, Tom.
Yeah, no, it's kind of it's insane, bro. Like sometimes you're standing behind like brick walls and shit, and you're still getting wallbanged through. It just makes no sense. But I'm glad that they took the live pinging out. Now nobody can bitch at it. Nobody can make an excuse about it at champs. I think that's great news. I don't know whose idea it was to take it out, but I think it was a great decision. So for those of you that don't know, there won't be any live pinging at champs. So they were able to remove that from the CDL accounts. And another thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the tier list is YouTube. Apparently, rumor on the street is that we're going to YouTube on a 2-year deal. I know, Ben, we've talked about it a little bit. Is it true? Is it not true? I know Hector had a lot to say about it. Hex from Optic. Nadeshot had a lot to say about it. I'll pull up what they had to say. But, Pat, we'll start with you on this one. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a good move from the league if they sign a bag and get a good paycheck from YouTube? Which apparently, from Nadeshot's tweet, it wasn't even a big check. I'm sure it was a big check, but it wasn't something that people are expecting, I think, the way he was talking about it.
He said the juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
That's what he said. Quote. Yeah, he said the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, which I thought was an interesting take at a Nadeshot. I mean, Pat, what do you think about the situation? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think?
I actually agree more so with what Nate said about growth. I think that's the most important factor here is like you should be prioritizing growth and viewership full stop.
Yeah.
And I think obviously everyone knows the move to YouTube is going to massively cut into that pool. We kind of know the live platform on YouTube is not very good for discoverability whatsoever. Which Twitch definitely has a massive edge there. And either way, I mean, I can't imagine that this, whatever this amount of money for the exclusivity over this 2-year period is gonna be anything crazy. If I recall, and Ben, you can correct me, I'm pretty sure the previous deal was like more in favor of Overwatch. Like Overwatch League technically got a bigger share of that exclusivity than COD did to begin with. So I don't know. I just think this is gonna honestly hurt the scene. And as we've seen this year, watch parties have been probably the most important aspect of the CDL. I know, Tom, obviously you do yours, but also Scump. There's been other big creators. TP, I think, does a few. And they also have like the event watch parties with creators as well. Like they have the set amount. Most of those creators are Twitch streamers. They're not YouTube streamers. So I'm a little confused here. I'm really curious on how this is going to impact, those guys' watch parties, yourself included, Scumps, like what happens there, because I think that's a big driver of interest to the scene and these events. So, I just think it's overall probably the wrong decision. And I think what's surprising here is like, I mean, we heard about this earlier this year, right? In that leak that came out. And we saw the public backlash about this. Like it was very apparent nobody wanted this from the community. And they were pretty much all against it. So, it's interesting to see them move forward with it, or potentially move forward with it. I know Hex said there's still a meeting to happen, so we'll see. Yeah,
and that's what I was going to say next. I mean, Hector said that there was a meeting waiting to happen, which I'm not really too sure what that means. But from the rumors that I was hearing behind the scenes, it sounded like it was a done deal. Like it's 100% YouTube. The deal's there. They're signing it. It's a 2-year deal. Ben, Chris, is there any way that some of these owners will find a way to stop this? Because you also got to think there's probably owners within the CDL that want to go to YouTube maybe and get some of that money and get some of that paycheck. Because if YouTube writes a check to the CDL, some of the franchises see a portion of that cash, don't they, Benjay?
Yeah, so I watched the new episode, the new Optic podcast episode, which came out a few hours ago. They talked about this, and basically Hector kind of followed, because he sent his tweet out I think a couple days ago, and he kind of followed up and said, like, as far as he knows, the deal like is not a done deal. That's what this meeting is for, coming up at Champs. This is what I'm curious about, is like we don't know the governance structure. We don't know how votes are supposed to happen in the CDL. Like, is it just the owners that vote? Does like the league have a vote? Like, how does it work? What happens if it's a tied vote? Like all that stuff we don't know. And I agree with you there. I had Adam Adamu on our Coffee and Cod on like Saturday at Toronto, and it sounds like Toronto's one of the teams that might be down for the deal. So I don't know if there's 7-8 teams that are anti-deal out there. There's probably quite a few, but I don't know if there's a majority. So that's a question A. And question B is like in the structure of the league, can Activision just decide to take this deal and say the owners, that's how it is. Like, do the owners have any ability to veto that deal? Because one thing of note with this Google deal is that it's probably more than just this YouTube thing. Activision has a lot of games. They need cloud hosting. They've been using Google for a while. They need to re-up that deal. That's a huge piece of their infrastructure they need to check off. The Microsoft merger hasn't happened yet, so they can't really do a deal with Azure Cloud. So this is really a toss in that bigger deal, and I don't, quite understand it, especially if, as the way Nadeshot and Hector phrased it, it's not some crazy 9-figure amount of money that's going to be a game changer, bringing a revenue share to the teams. It's just covering ops, and it's a little side coin, at least at that scale. So yeah, I don't think that I think the deal is bad for these sports. Going to kill growth. We're going to be stuck like we were the last 2 years, where watch parties are going to be tough. Viewership's going to go down 30 or 40%. No one's going to watch random league matches on a fucking Friday in May. It's a bad idea. They should keep going down this path of growth and engagement.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's crazy.
Go ahead, Pat.
Real quick, I was going to add, like, I don't know how many of you like actually used to watch or follow Hearthstone. But like I was extremely into Hearthstone, like a lot back in like 2015, 2016. Yep. I was talking about this with Pac-Man the other day. Like we grinded. I probably spent like thousands of dollars on packs on that game. And when they and I watched all the like the Hearthstone tournaments and stuff like that. And when they moved to that that game to YouTube, it completely fell off my map. Like, I haven't heard about Hearthstone. I stopped watching it.
Was that when ESL was running it or no?
I believe so. And from what I've heard, like that scene now is just like, and obviously this happens with games over time, but like back in the day, like Hearthstone had a massive player base. Like, it was huge.
Yeah.
Well,
and that esports scene kind of just died in that aspect.
It's one of those weird ESL deals where, if someone knows, please let us know. ESL signed a lot of deals, and I don't know if they still do this with games, where they'll go to a publisher and say, well, you don't need to toss any money in. Just give us the commercial rights to be able to sell against this esports title, and we'll make the money work, and you just put up $0. It's possible that could have been that way. I don't know if 100% it was like that for Hearthstone. But yeah, I agree with you. It used to be on Twitch. It was a banger. Like, they used to Apex in these big moments at like BlizzCon and shit.
Yeah, I watched all of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think about because, Pat, you were even talking about the watch parties. Even for somebody like me, like I've been streaming on Twitch since I was 18. I'm 27 now, turning 28 in August. I mean, it's been almost a decade that I've been here on Twitch. Now, granted, you know, obviously the last couple years since I took a step back, started flank, things have popped off. Shout out to the ZooMAFia. But, bro, I don't know if I'm just going to want to kick up and just switch over to YouTube like that. Like, I don't know if I'm just going to... I don't even know if I can do that because obviously with Twitch and partnership rules and this and that, like, there's a lot that I'm going to have to try and figure out. But it just causes a lot of problems with the watch parties too. Like,
it'll cost you $25, Tom, I think.
$25?
Yeah, I think I saw that in the terms of service. If you leave Twitch, you got to pay them $25.
For real?
Y'all saw that, right?
What the fuck? They said if you leave Twitch, you gotta give them $25.
There's an exit fee now.
I think I think that's only if you're a Twitch affiliate.
I thought it was a partner.
It might be everything, but the one thing I will say is there has been a lot of drama with Twitch. Although the viewership here and it's kind of been the home for esports or watching esports for a long time, I think Twitch in general has been taking a lot of steps in the wrong direction in terms of supporting the streamer community. And on top of that, even like the recent thing that they just like pulled back on it was the whole thing with the ads being only 3% of the size or the size of the screen. I think that was gonna affect esports pretty big because of how, like, you know, advertisers like to advertise on the esports broadcast. But I think they just revoked it, so I don't know.
They did revoke a lot
of that. As much as I don't want YouTube to be the platform because Twitch is just so nice and familiar and the viewership here is great, Twitch is doing itself zero favors in terms of the way it's been supporting creators and esports and stuff like that. And I don't know what the future is going to look like for streaming, but hey, maybe one day,
well, I'm curious.
Swap over to other platforms.
I want to get you guys' thoughts on this, like your honest thoughts. But obviously, with some of the stuff going on with Twitch, there's been some other platforms that have been talked about. One of them being Kick. What do you guys think about Kick? Do you think do you see Kick? I mean, it's obviously just Kick starting now. It's very early on.
No
but
pun intended.
Give your honest thoughts, Ben. Give your honest thoughts. What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I mean, what are your thoughts about Kick?
Listen, if you go on Kick, like a majority of people on the Kick platform are watching random IRLs and they're watching mostly gambling. There are some gamers on there. The streams don't have a lot of volume. Now, Kick is very favorable creator terms. They say, oh, well, you know, 95.5, we're not going to take a lot of money. We're not going to do all this garbage that Twitch does. Well, that's because it basically seems like it's a funnel to get people to put their money in stake and like watch other people gamble on stake. It seems like it's essentially a marketing vehicle for fucking stake. So it's early. I don't think they're going to get any major esports rights. I think eventually, in terms of being a profitable business, the 95.5 is never going to work. It's never going to make you enough money. They use apparently AWS as their backend. Amazon Cloud Services are pretty affordable, but
AWS? What's that?
Amazon Web Services. That's like Amazon's cloud solution. Is probably like the industry standard. Most people use AWS. There's no way their business plan works at their current play, which is they're just trying to get creators to come on and bring their viewers over. So
yeah,
I don't think Kick's at the moment a serious player in the esports world or in terms of like massive gaming creators. Maybe for some of the IRL streamers and gamblers, yeah, but everybody else, I don't think it's the best play.
That's the one thing that like is just like, because like hearing about it is like, how is it profitable for them? Like, it sounds good for, you know, creators, but like, what is it actually gonna become, because there's no way they're just gonna continue to shovel.
There's a lot of profit in casinos.
There's no way they're gonna like continue to shovel out money to people that are not really actually contributing anything to the like. They're supposedly coming out with like a way to stream and earn money based on hours, which is kind of crazy. It's because I mean, how do they make money back on that?
If you had a minimum amount of viewers,
yeah, but like
subscribers.
There's no ads. Like, what are you marketing like on your site? Like, if you're watching,
you're never gonna know because they're a Curacao-based company. There's just a lot of opaque. They're not a public company. They don't need to report any of their financials.
Wait, hold on. Let's also be clear here. It's not like Twitch is profitable either. Like, streaming service is not profitable yet at all. Period. So yeah, we should add that there.
But Twitch is interesting because it's a Amazon business that uses AWS, and they have the crazy massive corporation way to do a lot of fancy accounting to lose less money than you think they lose.
Yeah, but they're still not profitable.
I doubt they're profitable, and that's probably why they're instituting a lot of these rules, because they're trying to.
Twitch is absolutely not profitable, but
they're trying to get way more revenue out of Twitch right now.
Speaking about the fancy accounting that Amazon does that you're speaking of, a big reason for that, Ben, is because a lot of people in the Twitch chat are holding on to their Twitch Prime subs, Tom, and if they check for that blue Prime sub button and just use it right now in this chat, they will make sure that fancy accounting does not get over on them.
Man, I can't believe people are holding on to that. But Pat, I mean, what is your opinions on Kick? I mean, I actually like the fact that there's another, like, I like what Train is doing. I kind of like what their mindset is over there. I feel like the people behind Kick are super invested in their creators. Like, they want to make the platform benefit the creators. Like, they listen to the creators and want to do whatever the creators want, type of thing. And it's still early in Kick. Like, it's still a start off. Like, they've signed a lot of big names, and some big names are going over there now. And I saw some rumors of a lot of other people going over there. I've heard some rumors behind the scenes and some other streamers that are going there. And I obviously don't want to say those names because, you know, it's none of my business to leak that shit. But it's definitely some really big names that I didn't expect. I mean, Pat, can you see Kick in the future, you know, making a play and stepping in as the main platform for streaming? I mean, it seems like with the splits and kind of like with the programs that they're offering, that they're really trying to help the creators. I actually really like that. I kind of like that there's another platform on the radar now.
I don't think it's not possible, but I do think they have a good opportunity this year, especially with kind of like some of the backlash you've seen from Twitch and some of these bigger creators. I mean, at the end of the day, like, imagine like XQC, right? And like some of these really massive creators go there. Like that is a big chunk of viewership. Obviously, it's at the end of the day, it's a very expensive thing to get people over. Mixer obviously failed, but like I think Mixer's platform was. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched any of Mixer. I think their platform is horrible. Kick is basically a copy and paste. Yeah, Kick is at least like a copy and paste. Feature wise,
maybe too copy and paste.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
hey, well, works. Hey, it is what it is. You know.
But here's the problem, Pat, that Kick has, that the same problem that YouTube has. Bro, Twitch is great in terms of discoverability. I go to my Twitch page right now. Go to the homepage. You see a bunch of people streaming that maybe I've never seen before. I can see suggested streamers on my left. It's very easy for me to go from streamer to streamer and search channels. It's not as easy to do that on YouTube. And it's just not a massive variety of creators on Kick. So their play right now is to try and get more and more creators. Yeah, big creators are great. But I don't even think the audience moving thing really works in the way that it normally works. I think you need to en masse make yourself the center and the zeitgeist. And I just see it's going to be hard for someone to do that the way that Twitch operates right now.
I don't know. Listen, I like kind of that there's another group of people. I like that there's another platform out there, because I think it's gonna elevate Twitch. It's gonna elevate everything else. It's just gonna elevate everybody to step up their game. I mean, I definitely think Kick is trying to think creator first over there, and I just think it's a good mindset to have. Yes, I know there's a lot of problems with it, but anything starting off early is gonna have issues. I think if they could figure out how to kind of tone down some of those issues and kind of grow the platform, I don't know. I could see it being a big. I even saw Mr. Beast talking about streaming on Twitch. Drake was just streaming on Twitch. Kick. I saw Mr. Beast talk about streaming on Kick. Drake was just streaming on Kick. I mean, they're definitely getting some traction over there. So
you're naming event streamers. They stream in once in a blue moon. Like you're not going to get mass migration to Kick unless you have like someone like you that streams every day, moving your audience over.
But it's also those people are literally talking about streaming on other websites simply because Twitch is not doing a good job. If Twitch were to start doing things better, and introducing things that are more favorable for creators and actually listening to the community, like no one would be doing this. I think if anything, Kick and YouTube, even TikTok has streaming and stuff, is just pressuring Twitch to maybe listen to their creators a little bit more, but I mean, only time will tell.
Yeah, and a lot of people are comparing it to Mixer. I don't think it's anything like Mixer. Mixer was so weird to me, bro. I don't know. That was a weird one. They didn't really compare to me. I don't even know the way Mixer went about things. What even happened to them? They got creators on there, and then they just literally deleted the platform. They just got rid of it. Like I don't even know what the hell happened. Did they go bankrupt or what? I think it's a little bit different with Kick because Slay, like you said, a lot of money is in stake, and they're able to kind of push a lot of that money through some of those creators and get some people to switch on over. But Mixer was a little bit of a different story. But let's move on to the next topic. I want to talk a little bit about the teams going into Call of Duty Champs. A lot of people want to see us do a little bit of a tier list here. I actually started the tier list by putting a few teams in a D tier to kick things off. I got the Vegas Legion, the Florida Mutineers, the Los Angeles Guerrillas, and the London Royal Ravens. Starting off in the D tier. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that?
We're not going to Champs tier. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty much we're not going to Champs. I mean, I kind of put them in a... This was the order my chat was kind of leading. I saw some people like kind of throwing it in this order, like throwing it like this.
We should change D to C for Cancun.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy for sure. But you guys okay with this order? How I ordered it? Do you guys want to change it in another way or this and that? What do you want to do?
No, I think that's fun.
I would add London. Yeah, I mean the London LIG order. You can do whatever. I mean London.
I don't care about the order, bro. The order, chalk the order. Who cares, bro? They are horrible.
They're all fucking vacationing, playing other games right now, Cold War Shells, etc., etc.
Yeah, I'm down to keep it like this. Pat, you cool with this? You cool with Vegas, Florida, Los Angeles Grills, London in that order?
Yeah.
Alrighty, then we'll leave them there. Let's go on to the rest of the teams. Obviously, these are your top 8 teams heading into Call of Duty Champs, the biggest tournament of the year. It all comes down to this. This is for the ring. This is for the cash. This is for the bragging rights, the pride. And then, of course, I feel like Champs also just has a big effect in the offseason, right? Like, if your team does really bad, your team might make changes. If it does really good, that team might stay together, right? Like, I definitely think this affects roster mania. Like, I feel like Champs is always the nail in the coffin for some teams on whether they're staying together or they're breaking up. Would you guys agree with that? Or do you say, I know the whole year matters, but I definitely think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of weight on Champs.
100%.
All right, well, let's hop into the first team. Let's start things off with the Seattle Surge. Where do you guys think we should put them on our tier list? They have been struggling all year. I know, what was it? Up until last event, right? The only team that they've beaten on land was the Los Angeles Guerrillas. I don't know if that's correct.
That's still true. They didn't win.
Still true. So they still haven't beaten anybody other than the Los Angeles Guerrillas.
It's a major one, yeah.
In 2023.
Man. Okay, that's not a good look for the Seattle Surge. It's not a good look. Also, did you guys see all the Sam Phoenix messages, or was that AI deepfake shit? Were those fake messages on Reddit? I think they were fake, so I don't want to pull them up.
What's Sam messages?
Bro, there was Benjay Razim on my ZooMAFIA Reddit was like posting DMs of him and Sam Phoenix, and Sam was saying how he was thinking about forcing a change, but thought it might have been worse. It was, but bro, I'm pretty sure it was deep. I'm pretty sure that shit was deep fake, bro.
I feel like if it was real, we would have seen it get wider.
I mean, do you want to look? We can look at it. I mean, I don't.
No, if it's fake, no, don't.
I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know if it's fake or not.
Come on, if it's fake, don't give that.
Ben, I don't know. I don't know if it's fake. I have no idea.
Let's not talk about it. If you have no idea, then stop fucking talking about it.
All right, Ben. Damn, Ben, relax.
Either way, if it's not, if it is fake, it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? They should have made a change, Tom.
Agreed, bro. What the fuck are they doing, bro?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I might even put these guys in D, regardless if they're not going to champs.
You're gonna put them in a D tier next to these guys? Nah,
because I can't put
them. They made champs, bro. Damn, Haggy, you mad?
They made champs? Barely.
They made champs because of online.
They're lucky Vegas lost to fucking New York, because if Vegas had beaten New York in that matchup, they would have been sweating really hard. If Vegas won another series, they would have been one of the teams in the D tier going home instead of going to champs.
I don't know. I feel like the C tier is probably the best spot to put them right now. I feel like the C tier is probably the way to go. What do you guys think? C tier, they'll probably end up in the bottom of C somewhere. They'll probably end up staying there.
I mean, I think, like, first off, I think we should just take Vegas, Florida, LAG, London just off the list. And if we do that, then I'm down to put Seattle in D tier.
Listen, bro, I don't think we should put Seattle in D tier, bro. Like, they made those teams in D tier didn't even qualify. They didn't even make it. I don't think we should. I don't think Seattle's on the same. They qualified. They had enough points to make it to
They barely qualified. They haven't beaten anyone notable on land in 2023. It's obvious this team should have made a roster change pretty much after the Pred stuff. It seems like the chemistry is not there. They're a solid hardpoint team, but in every other game mode, they're really struggling. There's a team that refused to change their veto strategy until us and other people started roasting them. But even then, case in point, this team is still one of the only teams that hasn't played an Expo Control all year. You want
what's crazy?
It's crazy to me the way they're operating right now. And
you want to know what's nuts? Ravens, they have one LAN win the entire year.
Yeah.
They have more notable LAN wins than the Seattle do, because technically
2023
Ravens beat Boston, and Boston is a team going to champs. Seattle only beat LAG, and LAG is a team that obviously isn't going to champs. So technically, although Ravens have only won one series on LAN this entire year, they have a more notable win than Seattle motherfucking Surge
in 2023. Because
in 2023. But that's what this list is. This is this isn't a damn near whole franchise.
So list. is there no way that Seattle make a run here? Is there no way?
I mean, there's always, if there's a will, there's
always a way. There's always a way.
I mean, Tom, here's
if I'm a betting man, no.
They play FaZe first matchup. This can be a very hard win for them. The way FaZe is playing right now, they lose that. They're going to play the loser of Thieves in Toronto. Do you really see them not getting top 8 this event?
I mean, I could see them finishing last, personally. I could see them finishing last. They just haven't showed me anything on LAN this year. Obviously, talking about it all. But, I mean, there's always that possibility of them making a run. I definitely think they have talent to put it together for a given weekend and make a run. Wait. But go ahead, Pat.
So you all agree, then, at this point, we're going back to last year when I started my comments that you guys agree.
You were just early. You were just early, Slay. You were just early.
Tom.
I mean, they definitely showed. You called it. I mean, Pat, you called it. They struggled all year. You called it. You called it.
If this was a stock, Tom, I would have been shorting it the whole way, and I would have been rich right now.
Yeah. You would have definitely, if you put it all on Black, Slay, it would have been looking nice, Slay. It would have been looking good. But we'll keep them in it. I'm down to keep them in the Cancun level. You guys there? You guys down for that? You guys down to keep it in the Cancun?
The only reason I put them down there is because there's a team above them that at least tried. And it paid off, but they tried. And the Seattle team did not try.
I mean,
Pred is literally the only reason this team should be in C tier. Literally just him. all of their performances was him frying in a stage or something.
Bro, it's been bad enough that we were talking about Sid being a top player after Major 1. Dante has fallen off hard the last couple of months. It is really Pred versus the world right now in the Seattle camp, and I just don't know if it's going to be enough for them to even make a run in this tournament.
All right, well, we're going to keep them in the Cancun. We'll put them at the top of Cancun. We'll put them at the top. And we'll see what happens with Seattle Surge moving forward. But let's move on to the next one. The New York Subliners, the only team to win 2 chips this year. The only team to do it 2 times. You got Hydra, the MVP on there. Kismet, Skies, P-Dog's really been kicking it up. Where do you guys have this team going into champs? What tier do you want to put them in? Are they an S-tier team?
No. They're still an A.
The only team to win twice, not an S tier. You guys want to put them in A?
They are the only team to win twice, but their wins that they just caught fire during the weekend, I don't think their overall season performance can warrant them an S because of their consistency factor. I think they have S tier potential, but they have A tier consistency, and that is why I put them in A, in my opinion.
Like, let's be realistic here. They should have lost last event. Like, like FaZe was up 5-2. Selim had a free kill, didn't see the guy. Like that was a clear. I mean, like they should have lost. They won 3 S&Ds. Other than that, they've been pretty up and down this entire season. And honestly, I mean, with again, like I don't know about you guys, but like I think Paco is gross. I don't see Paco playing as good as he did at Major 5. Like that was one of the best individual tournaments ever, like ever. And like you can be as good as you can be great. It's really hard to play that way multiple events, especially the event with the most pressure. So I don't see him playing that good again. I still see him playing good, not that good. And without him playing that good, I definitely don't see NY winning the event.
It's not. You may be looking at it a little bit differently than I am, because I think the issue is not repeatable. Because I think part of the issue is there's a lot of really good teams in this tournament that can win. I think we got to give New York credit for like the changes they made post like Boston and an Optic Major, because they've been a stellar, one of the best hardpoint teams now for almost 2 months. They've been pretty good at control. I know they had their ups and downs a little bit at the end of this stage, but the biggest turnaround that they made, and I don't think that's 100p on Paco when he's contributed this, they've been pretty stellar in search, and we saw that at times the last couple of majors, but they were just finding ways to lose S&Ds in ways they shouldn't have with 1v3s, 1v4s. Like they're doing a good job getting bloods, getting kills, getting the bomb down. They're just getting clutched on. And now they're actually closing out those rounds, and they look like a really good team. So,
and once again, this is again a season tier list. I don't think this is going to be a tier list based on the last tournament, the last split, because then essentially we would just have the placings up on the board.
Season tier list, yeah, tier list.
I think like I hit the nail on the head, man. I'm gonna be honest here. At New York Subliners, S tier potential. We've seen them win 2 tournaments, but they're A tier in consistency. I think they've been a good top team this entire year. They caught fire at 2 events. They won them. Yeah. Granted, the one that they won, the last one, there was a mega not overperformance, but there was an insane performance out of Hydra. But I can't in good faith say that these guys are an S tier and they're going to be able to do this again the next tournament. If they do, great.
They did.
Well, congratulations.
They did have consistency problems. They did have consistency problems.
Exactly.
Their ceiling is very high. I will agree. They have a very high ceiling. It's just about, are they going to hit that ceiling, right? Like that's kind of what it is with New York, right? Like there hasn't been I don't know what their placings been. Ben, you might be able to check it out. Their placings throughout the whole year, but they definitely had a roller coaster of a year.
Think about this. They've won 2 events, and they still only have the 3rd best record at major events, at LAN events, like in win-loss. And they've won 2 of them.
There are 2 teams that, in my opinion, will put an S. I'm not going to say who yet, but there's 2 teams, and it's because, again, there's the S tier floor and S tier consistency, and people need to stop nitpicking this S tier. S tier isn't going to be winning every tournament. It's not possible in this day and age. S tier is going to be consistently placing at your ceiling, and there's only 2 teams right now that have been able to do it. Granted, they haven't won the most events, so obviously that belongs to New York. There's 2 teams that I in good faith can say will make the end of a Sunday most of the time. But anyways, keep it forward, keep moving.
My thing, Chris, is why I just think we should put New York in S because they just won the last tournament. Like I just feel like instant discredit them.
Why?
They're the number one
no one's
team
discrediting them. No one's discrediting them.
They literally the number 1
and
team right now. They just won.
And they didn't have some dominant win though. They just clutched up in S&Ds.
Yes,
this is an entire season tier list,
and
bro.
Let's not act like FaZe wasn't up 5-2 in an S&D and Selim looked at a guy and just turned away and died. Like,
this is an entire.
Let's not act like they shouldn't have lost 4-2 clear as day.
Let's not act like New York also closed that out pretty convincingly on that last map Mercado. I feel like I don't listen. Y'all can put them in A, but I vehemently disagree.
This is an entire. This is an entire season right now. Like, don't care. This is an entire season tier list.
Loser bracket. Toronto knocked them down day one. Yeah, it was tippable, but it doesn't make them S tier.
It is. This is an entire season tier list. This is not a they just won, so let's put them at the top. If fucking Boston came out and won a tournament, I'm not putting them in S. You got me fucked up.
You know who else won a tournament from loser bracket? LAG. No one was saying they were S tier last year.
So hold on. So are we
same shit? They just had a great event.
Just to clear this out, are we saying that basically the criteria for this list is we're taking a full year view and not like who were the best teams after the last event?
Yes, so I said that. This is a whole year tier list. This is not a recent tier list. The reason being, we would literally have the placings of the last tournament on a fucking tier list. Why would we do that? So it's an entire year evaluation up until this point.
There's only one team right now. I'm looking at Hardpoint win record, S&D win record, Control win record. Do you know what? There's only one team that's in the top 4 of all 3.
No, it's New York.
Yeah.
But the point is,
2 events is fucking disrespectful.
No,
you can put them at the bottom of S, bro. Why can't we do that?
I don't think.
Because FaZe and Ultra are better than them. Like that's why,
bro. I disagree, but I think I'm gonna get outvoted. So that's what it is.
Bro, Ben, if you had to tell me going to champs, name 2 teams that you can absolutely guarantee are making it to Sunday. Let's just say top 4.
You say Ultra?
Top 2 are the only 2 teams that make it to Sunday in this tournament.
Yeah, in this tournament. But I'm saying in general, like if you were to say 2 teams guaranteed that would make it to Sunday at an event, I'm not saying New York. I'm saying FaZe and Ultra every time.
I honestly think there's only one team.
Ultra hasn't not made a Sunday at any event this year, have they not? They've been top 4 every event except for Major 4, right?
Yeah,
where they got for like bracket. They just lost to FaZe.
There are 2 teams that have kept their floor and ceiling within this sort of margin. New York ceiling and floor is a little bit wider than those teams, and for that reason, I put them in A. I put them at the top of A, but like I said, I can't in good faith say these guys are guaranteed to make it to Sunday.
The chat was spamming. Yo, they got top 6 at Major 3. They literally won the event.
So they've actually made 3 of the 5 Sundays because they got top 6 at Major 2 and they got top 6 at Major 4. So at both those events they didn't make it to Sunday. But like I agree with you. Like I do think that Toronto should be up there. They've been a strong team. I'm a little worried about the sling overall, but like they're one of the teams I think is good value to win this.
Well, I'm down to keep New York in A. We also did a poll in the chat. It came over 80% of the chat wants New York Subliners in the A tier as well. So it definitely seems like people are favoring A tier as well in the chat. Ben, I think I'm down to keep him in A tier. I was leading towards S.
We'll put him in A tier, Tom, but like the kids and fucking all the New York guys always come in my chat. Just know I want you guys in S. Yeah, don't come in and roast me.
Well, listen, I will.
If they had a little bit higher placements throughout the year, outside of their 2 wins, then I could have I would have 100% gave them an S. But like, they won the first tournament and then had a pretty average year.
Ben's glazing.
Glazing. They had a pretty average year leading up until their win. So like I can't in good faith be like, oh, you won? Holy shit, dude! You hit that fucking ceiling all the time. You didn't hit that ceiling all the time. It's fucking bullshit. You're a great team and you have that potential, but your floor is lower than all the other S tier teams.
Alrighty, then we're gonna keep the New York Subliners in the 8 tier. They're gonna be the first team to start off this tier list. Let's move on to the next one. We got the Boston Breach coming up next. Where do you guys want to put the Boston Breach? I'm leaning towards the C tier, gentlemen. I'm leaning towards C tier.
Easy. We don't know what kind of team they are with Snoopy.
They don't know how to play COD.
Tom, this team's only reason they're at champs is because they played really good online. They've gotten like 50 points total at LAN. Most of those came at one event. I just think this team is always in these big moments kind of struggled to perform, and they're kind of missing sort of a lot of experience that some of the other teams have. They have a really tough round 1 matchup. They can maybe win the next one, but I think top 6 is max ceiling C.
Chris, who do you got? Where do you want him? I'm personally agreeing with Ben. I'd put him in the C tier as well. I mean, Slay, would you put him in the C tier?
Yeah, that's generous, but yeah.
Wait, you want to put him in Cancun with Seattle?
They're close.
Yeah, they're on the border, Tom. I guess we'll have to see how Snoopy changes this team's dynamic, but they're also the EQ cheese team, Tom.
They are the EQ cheese. Online, they were definitely doing some fugazi with the EQ. I know. I was really upset with them when they went to that Minnesota Rockerland and they didn't want to turn it off. I thought that was. I think I've had a bad taste ever since that moment. But I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to turn that off as a competitor, as a professional player. Like,
because they have no confidence in their team to win, bro. They're trying to thread the needle with the squad, and no one in that camp really, has the cojones to actually get shit done. Maybe they're going to show at this event. I'll be wrong, but all I've seen is that this is sort of a weak team. They lack experience. They're crumble in the big moments, and it's going to be another example of it. And I think they're going to have to rethink things in the offseason. Yeah,
I think they're definitely going to have to rethink some things as well. I'm also trying to do no sound EQ for the tournament tomorrow. I just, again, I got to try and get all the pros to agree to that. You guys know how that goes online. People just don't trust each other, so it causes a whole bunch of fucking problems. I am down to keep them in the C tier right now. I don't think they deserve to be in Cancun just yet, but like Chris said, maybe it's close. But we'll see if Boston's able to make some noise and prove everybody wrong at Call of Duty Champs. But let's move on to the next one. We got the Los Angeles Thieves, LAT, coming up next. Where would you guys put the Thieves? Thieves is a tricky team to me, man. Sometimes they look so hot. Sometimes they look so cold. They've had ups and downs, especially individually. They've had ups and downs. But listen, man, this is LA Thieves, man. They won a tournament this year. They won champs last year. They won back-to-back last year. This is definitely a team that you cannot rule out going into champs. I mean, this is a championship caliber team. Pat, we'll start things off with you on this one. Where do you want to see the LA Thieves? Poll is also in the chat. So, chat, if you want to drop a vote in the poll, you can drop your vote. But what do you think, Pat?
I want them in the A tier, Tom.
Right there with you, Pat. I was thinking A tier as well. I was thinking either top of B or bottom of A. That's what I was thinking. What do you think, Chris? Ben, would you agree with that?
I think A tier is fair, but I'm still, the thing with Thieves is like, bro, the thing for me when you look at like the online versus LAN stuff is like people talk a lot about the one game mode that they've struggled online for whatever reason is control to get to LAN, and they're actually really good at control. The S&D fall off this last major really has me concerned with Thieves. And they've had actually really struggled with this Toronto matchup all season. They were record against Toronto in 5 matches. They've only won 1, and they've only won 5 maps in the 4 matches. So like, Thieves got to get off to a good start in this one. But if we see a weak Thieves with a search, like they might be out of this one pretty quick. Like A is fair based on how they played the season, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of the team.
I don't know if it's fuck, dude. It's hard for me because I don't think at this point, I don't know if we'll have a B tier team. Just looking at the rest of the teams.
Well, we fucked it by putting Seattle and Cancun, but I think we can fix that.
That is true. If we put Seattle and C and moved everyone up one, it would have looked a little bit better. But
I think we put Seattle and C.
Wait. What are you talking about? We absolutely have a B tier team.
He's gonna say Optic, but anyways, I don't think.
Is that not accurate? They just got 12, didn't win a single map.
We'll get there when we get there. All
right, bro. I'm down to.
I don't know. They're hard. This is a hard one.
LA Thieves is a hard one. LA Thieves is a hard one for sure because they're so recently they've been kind of like almost like day to day in a way, you know.
I feel like the way I see B is they're just mid, and I feel like they had that really like. Okay, you guys can take this how I'm sure. I just want to put my thoughts out there because this is what's going on in my head. Their whole season is so fucking mid in terms of I think what this like. Once again, this roster ceiling. I'm gonna use the New York example. Roster ceiling, roster's floor. While New York's is a little bit better of a better floor, for example. That's why I'm like, dude, these guys are they're just mid. They're a mid team. That's why, like, for me.
Well, you think LA Thieves is a mid team?
The way they've been playing this entire season.
Hard disagree.
Yes.
Hard disagree, bro. Hard disagree. I do not think LA Thieves is a mid team at all.
They've been playing this season so shit. They've had one tournament where they showed up and they played really well. And then, well, actually, they've had 2. Was it the Boston one where they got what? What'd they get? Second? Outside of that, the rest of the season, I don't know. I just feel like it's so mid. I think bottom of A is fair.
I don't think they're mid.
I think bottom of A is fair, but it's so mid. How is it crazy?
Because it's really the defending world champs, and they got a chip this year.
What the fuck does them defending the world champ have to do with their entire year? I'm talking
really
about the way
doesn't
they
have much to
performed this
do
year.
with it, but
They got a first, they got a second, and then after that, mid the entire rest of the season. Like not even like close.
I'm down to keep him bottom of A. I'm down to keep him there because I feel like that's a good spot. I was gonna say top of B, bottom of A. That's what I was gonna say from the get go. Are you guys cool? We're keeping them here. Everybody cool here. Everybody cool.
Yeah. I mean, mid is crazy.
Yeah, I think mid is crazy too. I don't think they're mid. I don't think they're mid at all. But you know, we agree to disagree. Everybody's got their own opinions. It is what it is. And let's move on to the next team. We got Toronto Ultra coming up next. Obviously, they started off hot. They looked good. They made a change in the middle of the year. They ended up dropping Standy and bringing in Hicksy. Gave him a whole new look to the team. They ended up winning an event with Hicksy. Well, as soon as they made that change, they were able to win an event. I think it was the next event, right? After they made the change. Didn't they win the next event after making a change? So Toronto Ultra is definitely a scary team going into it. I'm going to be honest. This is another team that I could see in the bottom of A. I mean, what do you guys think?
Not a S tier team. In fact, these is.
I don't think we're gonna have, and I don't know. We might need to keep the S tier empty.
No, I think FaZe is clear S. I don't think that's really a conversation.
FaZe clear S. Their consistency.
Placing top 3 all year. They've won an event. They're #1 seed. Like I think the S conversation around them is easy. But like I think Toronto and A actually makes sense to me. I mean, the conversation we need to have about Toronto is they looked really good at Major 3. I thought Major 5 was a big opportunity for them to make it to the finals, and they just didn't. And now
they beat the winners in winner bracket and then lost to them game 5. Like they beat them game 5, lost to them game 5.
The only reason
they also lost to FaZe though too. They lost the winners up and the losers.
My only argument for Ultra potentially being an S is simply because their ceiling and floor.
What are you talking about?
No, the New York series was game 5. They both times.
I'll talk in.
No, go ahead, Chris.
The only reason I might even consider them S if we're gonna actually have a team there or have teams there is because again, my whole thing is the ceiling and the floor thing with how like you represent a team, and I feel like Ultra's ceiling and floor are tighter than New York's in terms of like how well you can expect them to place and how well they've performed. So I don't know. If I were doing my tier list, I would put these guys in S just because the way I look at my S tier is do I have faith in them making a final or making it at least in the top 3 overall for champs? And I would say, yeah, I have pretty good faith that they can do that.
I don't know if I do, because like the problem for them is like they could lose to Thieves and then there's a good chance to get top 6, and then they could still beat Thieves and lose to FaZe, and then they got to play like, I don't know, like New York in losers bracket and lose them again and get top 6. Like I don't know.
I'm not looking at the bracket. I'm saying in terms of like what they can achieve and should achieve. I expect them as a top 3, top 4 usually.
I'm very concerned with this Toronto team about their ability to slay compared to some of these other teams. They kind of limped to this top 4 placing in the last event. They just individually didn't have a lot of players having a good tournament. Like we've been talking crazy about Scrap Online going into Major 5, and he didn't have a great tournament. Jamie definitely fell off as well. Charlie wasn't doing the same things online that he was doing on LAN. This is all in front of a home crowd. I'm a little concerned that Toronto doesn't have the firepower that even a team like New York has.
And they still got top 3 when all of them played pretty shit.
They got top 4, but yeah.
They're top 4, sure.
I actually like just Toronto Ultra as a team. I think they play COD the right way. I think when you watch them play, it's kind of like what Chris is saying. Even when they're not having the best individual performances, they're still a tough team to beat because they're making the right plays on the map. They're taking the right routes. They wait for each other on breaks. They get good holds. I think they're a well-rounded team. But Ben, I don't think you're wrong that the individuals on a team haven't been performing all year, and there's been a lot of inconsistencies, and it's kind of been hurting them throughout the year. I do think that I think having them above LA Thieves makes sense, and I would put them in the middle of New York and LA Thieves. Do you guys agree with that or no?
I agree with that. I agree.
Pat, Chris, you guys agree with that? What do you think, Chris? I see you kind of shaking your head a little bit. What do you think?
I would say
put them ahead, Pat.
I can see the argument for both. That's my thing. So I mean, go with whatever you guys want.
I think New York, bro. They won 2 chips, bro, this year. I don't know. I think they got the edge on them. To be honest, I'd put the edge on New York.
They do in terms of the winnings, but like I said, like the way I'm saying S tier is whenever I'm predicting, if I'm predicting placements, not looking at the bracket, just team potential, team composition, and team performances up until this point. Do I have more faith in Ultra being able to make it into like a losers finals than New York and Thieves at this point in the season with everything that I've seen? Yes, that's my only reason for putting them ahead. But I mean, like I said, you guys do you.
Let's leave it as is.
I mean, if you want to think about it, though, average placing of New York this year is like 5 point something. Average placing of Ultra is 4 point something. Like, they technically have a better average placing, even though NYSL won 2 events. Like, they've been very consistent at being like top 4 the whole year.
I mean, yeah, but like,
they're the most consistent team outside of FaZe. That's a fact.
I'm just concerned that they lost to the first and second best team at the last event in front of a home crowd. They should have done better at that event. I'm just very concerned that Toronto kind of peaked at Major 3, and we're just not going to see the best version of them in this tournament, where some of the other teams might kind of meet the moment. They might get top 4 again this event, you know, and then we're just like, whatever. Toronto was good all season, but then we won 1 event, and they were just a non-factor in the year.
I mean, I'm down to keep them there. I think Ultra looks good there. I think it makes sense to keep them where they are right now. So we'll keep them there for now. Even the chat came in, looked like about 70-80% once again, came in with A tier. So let's keep Toronto Ultra right there in the A tier, right where they are. And then let's move on to the next one. We got the Minnesota Rocker coming up next. This team, man, this team gave me agita. They gave me an absolute headache. They stressed me out all year long. I did not like their team changes. I did not like the way they went about their roster. I hated the fact that they picked up a guy who was frying in challengers with a sub and told him to run an AR. I thought that was crazy. But if you're gonna swap out your AR, they should have went for an AR player. If you're gonna swap out, if you're gonna pick up a sub player, you got to keep him on that role. I just didn't know why they made the decisions they made, but then they ended up moving Fame back to the sub. They put Dylan Attach back in the roster, which is what I think they should have done in the first place. And they did have a better placing, but at the same time, they didn't take down any of the best teams. Isn't that right, Slay? They didn't take down any top teams. I think who were the 2 teams that they beat to get into the top 3?
Florida and what, LAG? Like, they had the freebie, bro.
I'm thinking maybe top of C here. I'm thinking maybe top
Florida
of C.
And Breach. Sorry, Florida and Breach.
Top of C, maybe B. I'm kind of bouncing around between top of C, bottom of B. But what do you guys think? Where would you guys have them?
C for sure.
I would say C for sure. I don't think they've really been too good of a team this entire year.
The only team I think they could beat at champs would be Boston. No bullshit.
Ben, what do you think, bro?
I don't want to put them in B because this team is a non-factor on Sundays. I think top of C is fair. Like, they can take care of the lower tier opposition, but the minute they play a way better, faster team, they're just crumble city. And I think we're going to see them likely getting like top 8, top 6 this event.
I'm down. Listen, I'm down to keep them at the top of C. I'm down for that. I'm definitely down.
Top 6 would be impressive.
And they kick things off. Who's their first matchup? Who they get matched up with first round?
Bro. They got a rematch against New York, who slammed them at the major. Now, here's what I'll say is like, is Rocker now have 2 weeks to like prepare for this matchup, so they can make this really gritty and close. But the way that New York's playing S&D right now, if it goes 5, I trust fucking New York more than I do Rocker at the moment in that situation. If Rocker goes,
I think they're for sure losing that.
But here's the problem of Rocker: if they lose that, they got to play probably Boston for top 6, and they haven't. When was the last time they beat Boston? Was they beat them at the major in Game 5, right? They lost them at their home series, but they barely beat Rocker or beat Boston with their old team.
That was a different roster.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think, and even then they get past that, they're going to have to play like.
Look, they're sealing this event as top 6. That's just the reality.
Sure is our ceiling. I agree. I think C is fair based on what they've done this season, and if they don't get a top 3 placing in this event, I think we could see a completely different Rocker team and Rocker organization next year.
Yeah, listen, as I'm looking at these teams, I feel like this offseason is gonna be fucking crazy. I can see like 90% of these teams changing. I can see like literally almost everybody changing, but maybe like 2 teams.
I don't. You know what I'll say about this? There's the reason it could get kind of wild is Seattle is definitely going to make a change. Thieves have 4 free agents, so that can get kind of wild. Optic, if they don't win, might try and pick up Pred. And then who knows what Rocker does?
But
Boston
the problem,
has an obvious need,
bro. The
and
problem
New York
with
should
this,
probably stick.
yeah, but the problem with this whole roster mania is like, look at everybody on C and Cancun right now. The only player on all of those teams that I would even want is Pred. I don't want any of those other players if I'm building
None
like
of them?
I mean,
if you're building like a top team to win, like
I'll say this, Pat, is I think
Damn.
Boston kind of needs some veteran leadership on their team. So there are a couple of players, specifically like a Clay, who could provide some good value in that situation. I agree with you though. Like you look at the LAG roster, Florida's going to have probably a Spanish team, like the London situation. Like it's going to be hard to see those teams, those players moving up a tier unless. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like if you're look at like let's look New York, Ultra, Thieves, FaZe, and Optic. If you're one of those teams, you're trying to improve. You don't want anybody on those bottom teams except Pred. Pred's the only one that you would want.
We can make this argument, but Slasher was basically on a bottom Cancun tier team last year, and he got picked up by FaZe. So
Slasher got blessed.
Austin had an insane. Austin had an insane season. Austin had
Slasher got blessed
and put up insane numbers. Go back and look.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Slasher is also a world champion on a dog shit team. Like
people were saying, like I'm seeing like ASIM and Standing. I see where you guys are going with that.
There's a lot of talent down. I don't know. I still think there's players down there.
I agree with Pat though. It's like I don't see those.
None of those players end up on a top team. Like, they end up in the same 6 through 12
Seattle or Rocker type situation. To your point, 6 through 12. So
they do get recycled a lot, Pat. That's true. They do get recycled.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be on a top team. I feel like we're still gonna have the same issue next year where the league is just so top heavy.
What about Joe Deceives? Do you like Joe Deceives or no?
I like Joe.
I like Joe.
He's
probably a lifetime LAG cycle.
He's still contracted, so I don't know what
he'll be in the league, but he won't be winning. Like
I don't know. Listen, I don't think everybody from these bottom teams is 6 through 12. I don't think all these guys are gonna get dropped. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a clean wipe.
I just think they get recycled in that same 6 through 12. Like they don't get on the top.
Maybe. And I know there's a lot of talent in challengers. I know some people are talking about Abuza, which that guy's disgusting, by the way. Abuza's really fucking good. He's been showing out. I know a lot of people in challengers even been gassing him up. He's been performing on LAN as well. But yeah, we'll see what some of these teams do moving forward in terms of their roster. But I'm down to keep Minnesota Rocker in the C tier. You guys cool with that? Top of C above Boston?
Yeah, I like it.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next team. I think there's gonna be a little bit of banter here with these next 2 teams. Because I'm not sure what the fuck is about to happen. We got Atlanta FaZe and Optic Texas. Let's start with Atlanta FaZe. Where would you guys put FaZe? Now, let's just state the facts real quick, okay? FaZe were the most consistent team this year, which I was talking about this a little bit with Doug yesterday. But when people are playing at a consistent level in a game like this, where in my opinion, the skill gap is at an all-time low, I think it's pretty impressive. Like, I always find that pretty tippable. I mean, I was talking about this with Doug, but the CODs that we played back in the day, especially like AW, Black Ops 3, like even like Black Ops 4, World War II, bro, those games had way more skill gap than the games that we're playing right now. So when you see a team that's... It's not even a debate. There's no point even arguing that.
Tom, since Pro-Am Classic last year, and I know this is wrapping Vanguard and Modern Warfare, this is a year of of Call of Duty. They've played... 8 events, and they placed no worse than top 3 at all of those events.
It's impressive. That's impressive. They have a problem. Obviously, they do have a championship this year. They did win a chip, but they do have a problem sometimes closing on the finals. Sometimes it seems like they let it go, you know, and I think that's what's hurting them the most.
That's a great problem to have.
That's a good problem to have. It is.
That's a good problem to have. Listen,
it is a good problem to have. It is.
For all the fucking imbeciles in chat, and this isn't even biased. This is just the fact
you don't gotta call them fucking imbeciles.
No,
this is ZooMafia.
No. There's people that are ZooMafia. No, the ZooMafia is not like this. It's not. They're not the ZooMafia.
It's the ones who are. It's the one who aren't the ZooMaa. Okay.
Yeah, if you're not subbed, this is who I'm talking to you. This is who I am. But my point is how many times have we seen a team do good, do amazing, Then they go to the next tournament, next split, shit the fucking bed.
They crumble, and we're not talking about the cookie company.
There is one team in all of the CDL that I can literally confidently say will make finals or make Sunday or make the top 3 most of the time, and it's literally FaZe. And the fact that they can do it so well on a game that has the smallest skill gap, we've had this conversation on the flank before. Do you know how hard it is to stand out on a game like Modern Warfare 2? As a player,
it's hard. It's hard, bro. It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard.
There's literally one team that's been able to do that this entire year. And once again, this is a report card for the year. This is not a report card for the entire CDL. 2 years ago, people are going to be like, oh, Vanguard, they couldn't win or whatever. Listen, they are the only team that you can confidently say is going to place well. And I mean, you have to put them in S.
Bro, we're dragging this. They're averaging a grand final. Put them in S. Their average placement is top 2.
Yeah,
like, they're literally averaging a grand final.
Yeah, you definitely got to shout out their consistency has been impressive. Their consistency has definitely been impressive for sure.
Dude, my thing that just irritates me is like there's just so many copers in chat that are like, oh, they can't close out the finals. They choked the finals. Well, guess what? Your favorite team isn't even in the finals most of the time. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Damn, Chris, what is it, Chris? What is it? They bothering you, Chris? Are they bothering you?
Bro, the logic of some of these people just irritates me, bro. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand where these people come from.
Damn. All right. Well, I'm down to put FaZe in the S tier. I definitely think their consistency has been impressive. Even just looking at their champs placings over the last 3 years. It was
1-2, 1-2.
1-2. Was that what it is? 1-2, 1-2? Is that what it was the last 4 years? So they placed first,
easy. 1-2,
second,
1-2.
first, second. I mean, hey, if the pattern keeps going, Slayer, we might see Atlanta FaZe taking a chip. We might see him taking it again.
Unfortunately, it's not though, Tom, because the way the pattern's gonna be is gonna be 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. 2 because Toronto Ultra will be your 2023 world champions, Tom.
If Toronto Ultra come out,
who are 2024 champions, Pat?
I'll let you know after 2023
you can't answer that yet. Not yet. But if Toronto Ultra come out and win this shit, listen, Slay, listen, bro, you
in Vegas too. Might have to put some money on the tables, Tom.
Pat predicted. Well, hold on. Pat predicted that Toronto was going to win last year. Just said, I misspoke. I meant 2023.
Bro, it was no. I didn't misspeak. I didn't misspeak. You saw some deepfake BS that said I said 2022. Okay. I said 2023 the whole time. Not to mention, I predicted every event winner correctly this entire year, and it would have been 4 out of 4 if Celium just would have like looked left.
Yeah, I think Cell was too cracked for his own good. He was moving too quick. You didn't even see him.
You got to call out that some guy was like full corner, and when he came around, I tried to like whip on the guy and just fucking didn't have full awareness. We also need to be clear, like they also trolled about 3 to 4 other rounds.
Yeah, they trolled a lot of rounds.
And pretty much everyone in the team was responsible for at least one troll. So as a squad, they kind of tossed. And
there's no way you're MC glazing right now, bro.
I'm not MC glazing because there's also another part, Chris. They won the next map and they went to round 7 and got bodied. So like,
all I'm saying is you're MC.
They could have won map.
You're
7.
MC glazing right now because listen, everyone else, yeah, they could have made better plays. They could have made, some game-winning plays, whatever. MC just need to open his eyes, bro. And to me, that is far worse.
Bro, they trolled that map, but they also forced it to a game 7 and got bodied. Like, why do we not talk about that?
Well, because they should have won the series.
Bro, guys, we already did the major 5 flank, okay? We already did the major 5 flank. True. Tom, bring us back on track with the next team in the tier list.
The next team in the tier list, the last team, the one everybody has been waiting for, Optic Texas. Where do you guys want to put Optic? Slayer? Of course you can go first, Slay. Of course. Tom. Go ahead,
all right, guys. I have the exact math. It's gonna make this so easy on all of us. Okay, we have 5 tiers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you say the halfway point of that would be? Would you say it would be B?
B? Yeah, I'd probably put B.
Okay.
B is the halfway. Yeah, right in the middle. Yup.
So we have 12 teams in the CDL. Okay. Yeah. And if I told you one of them averaged 6th, would you say that the 6 is right in the middle of 12, right?
As far as math goes,
yes, Pat, I would say 6 is in the middle of 12. Yes.
So
half
if 6
of 12
is in the middle
6.
of 12 and B is in the middle of A through Cancun, they put him in B, Tom.
Put them in
They're averaging
B-Sling.
6th place on the year.
Oh, is that what their
report
average is?
card is right in the middle. It's actually worse than that, Tom. It's 6.4.
The only problem, the only difficulty putting them in B, this is what makes it hard.
No event wins 2/12, by the way.
2/12. The last major was such a weird situation for Optic.
I think even the Optic fans are agreeing in the poll, I think.
They came in with such fire from the online stage and had an absolute egg in Toronto. And now I don't know what to think of this team, because it's like we've seen both sides of them in LAN. We've seen the like unstoppable machine. They roll over the top teams. They can get to these finals. But we've also seen the team that doesn't play together well as a team, couldn't win a fucking S&D to save their lives. They're still kind of a weak control team. I don't know. B, I could be convinced to B.
Right now, we got 58%, 468 votes for B, 37% for A tier, 302 votes. We got 42 votes coming in for S tier for Optic Texas.
As much as I've been a supporter of this team and the stuff they've done with it by adding Dan and how well they play, and I've always been saying that they've been able to, they've been winning, or they've been trying to get over that hump of winning. If we're doing an entire season report card, we can't skimp out on their past prior to bringing on Dan, and it's going to be a B, because we didn't do that for any other team, right? Ultra had Standy before. They still had they still had passable results for the most part, so we can't do that for Optic. As much as their new roster has improved their overall floor and ceiling, it's a B. It's a B for the entire season.
I mean, bro, every team above them in this list has won an event this season. Optic, I think, should have an event win by now. They haven't, and now I'm not really sure what to make.
Which event do you think they should have won? I don't think they should have won either Major 3 or 4. I think the better team won both those events.
I think Thieves was definitely. I
think both events the better team
won.
Oh
man,
I think I agree with you on that. I just would have thought out of the last 3 events they should have won one of them, and that's why this Major 5 performance is so shocking to me, because I felt like going into Major 5 they just looked so clean as a team. And I feel like they would have learned from their mistakes in the past 2 majors and actually done it. And then they dropped an absolute worst performance of the year. I just don't know what to think.
I think the only argument you could say that they could have won is probably the one against Thieves, but their map pool is eventually what prevented them from doing so. Yeah. The first event that they got second, I think they just caught fire in being in the losers bracket, but they were literally about to be eliminated by London. So
wait, Thieves smoked them twice at Major 4, did they not?
You're not. Yeah, but let me finish. That's what I'm saying. They couldn't beat them because of their map pool. My thing is, the event before, they caught fire. They were facing elimination. They caught fire. They got to second, but again, lost to a team that was better than them at the time, had a bigger map pool. If anything, after their loss to Thieves, that split where they went 5-0 again was their attempt at making their map pool bigger. It was their final, I wouldn't say final attempt because they still have champ, but it was their final attempt at a regular season win by losing 2 finals, showing they can make it there, but finally getting over the hump by improving their map pool, which they tried to do during the final stage, and then they came and they fell flat. So yeah, you put them in B. They tried, but it just ultimately wasn't enough for the regular season. They still got champs. Every other team here still got champs. So we'll see how they close out the season. But B, I think, is fun.
Z Owens in the chat keeps spamming, man, this show is biased, always FaZe bias. What are you guys' thoughts on that? But a lot of people sometimes, they say that we're biased towards FaZe.
Yes,
the team that's number 1 in the standings, bro. Like what?
Bro, man, if Optic or fucking London or any of these team got placed number 1 in the standings, got second, third, first, third, whatever the fuck, the entire season, I would literally get on my knees and suck that team's fucking entire juicer. But they haven't. It's only been FaZe. It's only been FaZe. It's literally only been FaZe that has been able to be this consistent. What do you want us to do? Dude, they can't win a final. It doesn't matter. They got second. Oh, they couldn't, make it to the final. It doesn't matter. They got third. Like, you can't make this fucking argument for any of these teams, bro. It's just the way it is.
Horny.
Intrusive thoughts.
It's like Zion Williamson. Jesus
Listen,
Christ.
If Optic,
can't keep it in the pants.
Listen to me here. If Optic dropped their entire roster and picked up all of the FaZe roster and the entire current Optic roster went to FaZe, and FaZe was on, FaZe had Shotzi, Hook, Dashy, whatever, we would not be saying FaZe is better than Optic. we would say Optic is better than FaZe at that point in time. It's just the way it is.
Extreme example, but you're not wrong.
It's
That's
not, I'm
just
not
the
wrong.
way it is.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's just the way it is. If they are, that's it. Okay,
Man,
I'm done.
Haggy, you imbecile. Slay, what do you
I'm
think
tired of
about
it.
that? What do you think about that, Slay? The bias. The bias. You think that we're biased? Do you think we're biased, Slay?
Bias against facts, Tom. That's what I'm biased toward. The
Man,
facts.
the facts.
And the facts are that Optic is a B tier team and FaZe is an S tier team. And I'm biased to the facts, Tom.
Well, listen, this is going to do it for our tier list today. We're going to hop into some Reddit questions and see what you guys came up with over there. But what do you guys think about our tier list in the chat? W or L? What are you guys thinking? Do you think we got it right? Do you think we're biased as fuck and got it wrong? What do you guys think, man? What do you guys feeling here? Let's see what you guys are saying, bro. I see a lot of W's. There's a few L's in there. There's a few L's in there for sure. But I am seeing a lot of W's. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave the tier list there unless there's anything in this list that you guys looking at it want to change up. Is there anything here that you think looks a little off, or do you want to keep it like this?
No, I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Alrighty, folks, that's gonna do it for our tier list. Let's hop in to the next segment. Let's hop in to Mr. Davis Hitch a Ride's tweet because we gotta take a look at this. What the fuck is this 3v3 fist fight tier list? I'm confident this is 100% accurate. Luckily, we are lovers and not fighters. If you disagree with this, we will beat you up in real life. First and foremost, let's take a look at our opponents here. We got George, we got Davis, we got Blake. Looking like $1 million. Let's take a look at the list.
This photo at the fucking Hilton in Anaheim, is that where they took that photo?
Whoa! They have us in the we would beat their ass list. It's me,
Yeah, I don't know about
Benji Nassim, and the Slayer. There's no way.
Wait, am I not looking at the right thing?
Slayer, I got it up on the screen, Slayer. I got it up
They
right
don't
here.
have me on there because they know if I was there, I would just body slam and be over.
No, Shy. You gonna
know
body
better.
slam him?
They know better.
Are you sure about that?
They know better. They know better. Give me a trampoline or diving board and like they're
Dude,
flagged.
what? I don't think they saw that right hand. That I got. But it's all good. They're a little uneducated. Look at the rest of this list. Close fight, but we win. Tony said, but they got fucking.
Wait, this list doesn't make sense.
They got Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman as a fair fight. What are these guys on? How much papaya are these guys smoking?
Banter tweet, bro.
How much papaya are these guys fucking smoking?
They got Shroud in that they would get their ass beat.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, what the hell is going on with this fucking list? But yeah, wanted to pull that up. I thought that was funny. I thought Davis' tweet was pretty funny, so wanted to show you guys that. And then, of course, I also want to kind of get into the bracket before we answer some questions and just take a look at some of these first-round matchups because we obviously got some pretty big ones. Where can I look at the bracket? Oh, here it is. I actually found it. Perfect. Let's take a look here at the graphic that the colleague tweeted out and take a look at the champs bracket that was made. We got Subliners going up against Rocker in round 1, Optic Texas versus the Boston Breach, Ultra Thieves, and then FaZe Seattle. I feel like some of these first rounds are kind of like pretty like one-sided. Like I would take New York over Rocker. I'm taking Optic over Breach. I'm taking the only one that gets crazy interesting to me is probably Ultra Thieves. I don't really know what's going to happen in that series. And then FaZe Surge, I'd favor FaZe in that one. Would you guys agree that the first that 3 of these first 4 matches are probably pretty one-sided? Obviously, it's Call of Duty. Anything can happen. These guys are here for a reason. They all made
Even
it.
the Ultra Thieves match is one-sided. Ultra
think
literally.
so? I don't know about that.
Thieves like can't beat Ultra for the most part this entire season.
Toronto is not particularly good. All I'll say is we kind of said this last year, and then every game went to game 5 and winners round 1. So like you never know. I mean the thing is these teams have had like 2 weeks to prepare for these matchups. They're going to kind of come in with a lot of strategy, especially in search. Kind of break off with maybe some pre-planned break-offs for our points to counter. Like we could see some stuff, but I would say FaZe is heavily favored. I would say the Optics heavily favored against Boston. New York's very heavily favored against Rocker. I think if Thieves play good, I think they have a chance against Toronto. Chris, because I think that Toronto's game 5 issues are still kind of a thing. as of recent memory.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure. Obviously, I'm looking at it from a just what can happen. It can happen. Thieves can make it a competitive series, but Ultra has beaten Thieves a ton this season, and their record is not great. So I don't really have faith in Thieves doing it.
Listen. Wait, Tom, bring it back up. Bring it back up.
Of course, Lay. I can bring it back up for you, no problem. Just pulling up. They're already talking about our tier list on Reddit, so I want to pull up some comments on there at the end of the show. But let's take a look here.
Tom, I want everybody in the chat to call your bookie right now. Get him on speakerphone. Tell him you want to place these exact bets.
Yeah, here we go. I'm listening.
FaZe beat Surge. Ultra beat Thieves. Ultra beat FaZe. Optic beat Breach. Subliners beat Rocker. Subliners beat Optic.
Okay.
Ultra, Subliners, winner finals.
Right.
Ultra wins.
Okay.
New York falls down. I don't know what happens in the early stage of the loser bracket. Who cares about that? But FaZe win out. And then the grand final against Ultra. And it's Ultra versus FaZe in a best of 9.
Don't worry, match.
Ultra wins 5-4.
You're calling a rematch? You're calling a rematch here?
Ultra FaZe.
Like
game.
that.
Game 9.
Like that.
Game 9.
What do you guys think in the chat? I mean, what do you guys think, Ben and Pat? You agree with that? You see that happening?
I could definitely see two teams coming from the top side of winners, making it to the grand final. New York, the New York Optic winners round 2 match is going to be very interesting. If New York win that, I feel really good about their opportunity to maybe win this tournament. But I just think FaZe is probably the one team that we feel pretty confident in making it to Sunday, and just, you know, with them, if they execute in the final. So I don't think Pat's super off. I don't think I'd pick Toronto to win this event, but I think I could see that's going to happen for sure.
I think there's a scary situation for Optic here, where if Optic win their first match and then lose to New York, they drop down into a bracket, and then potentially the way the brackets line up and the flips that come in, etc., Optic would have to play Thieves if Thieves win or lose, depending on that match. But I'm going to say they're probably going to lose just because Toronto has the better record. There's going to be potentially Optic versus Thieves pretty early in the losers bracket. That'd be like maybe a top 6 match, and
wait.
Their records aren't the best versus each other. So
what's the schedule like at Vegas? Like, it's a 4-day tourney, right? But there's only 8 teams. What is the schedule
it's a little bit lighter than usual.
They play the top 2 on Sunday. So that Sunday is only 1 match. It's grand finals. So.
Yeah, but it's what? 3 games, 3 games, 3 games.
4 on the first day. Probably 3. 8 teams.
That's too many matches.
7 matches, right?
Yeah. There's one on the, so 6 across 3 days. So is it 2 every day?
We'll go back.
2 matches a day for champs?
No, it's more than 2 matches. No, it's not 2 matches a day.
If you go to the bracket, it tells you.
It's 4-4-5-1. 4-4-5-1 is what people are saying in the chat. I don't know if it's true. It's just what people are saying. That's what they're saying. That's what people are spamming. Multiple people. Actually, it might just be it's multiple people that are spamming 4-4-5-1. A lot of people are spamming.
4-4.
It's impossible, no?
I don't know. It's what they're saying, Slay. It's what the chat's saying. I'm not really too sure. I
4 matches on Friday, 5 matches on Saturday. It's 4-4-5-1
Yep.
Where do they make up these matches?
Listen, bro.
Look at the record right now.
It is what it is. Damn, that's a lot of matches on that fucking Saturday.
Let's hop in and answer some questions coming in on the Reddit side of things. Thank you so much to everybody on Reddit coming in hot with some questions. This one got a lot of traction today, so I appreciate everybody who came in and participated. Let's start off with the first question coming in from Liquid Paper. What do you think Minnesota do this offseason? Do you see anyone staying on the team? Do you see a single player from the Minnesota Rockers staying on a team? And if not, what do you see them doing with the team? Where do you see them going? Ben, we'll start with you. What do you think is going to happen with the Minnesota Rocker?
So let's assume they get top 6, because that's, I think, where we feel like their ceiling is. Will they keep a player on the team entirely depends on who's also coaching the team, because they can completely quad wipe, like clean house here. I don't know. I'd have to go look at the sheet and see what the contract situations are. If like everybody's on a team option, or if people have like 2+1s that they would, in order to move on from that, they'd have to buy someone out. I'm just checking real quick. And it looks like everybody on Rockers on a 1+1. So they could clean house and not have to pay any additional money if they wanted to. And then if they bring in a new coaching staff, then at that point, I think they make a decision on anyone's option they pick. So I think the Rocker situation is going to resolve itself like very fast, because if they want to make a coaching change, then make roster decisions, that's going to need to happen right after the event.
You know what's crazy?
Like literally right after the event.
I see some people in chat saying Fame stays, attached, Cammy, blah, blah. I don't think people realize that Bance is probably one of the main reasons this team has even had good performances at LAN tournaments. Both Bance had a pretty good stage, and he's played well for this team, and he's a big proponent as to why they were able to get third or even make the runs that they've had. And then again, in that tournament where they got third, what was it, Boston? Bance and Afro. Bance, again, had an incredible tournament. Yes, I think Bance has inconsistency issues, but where is this conversation for Bance? Because I think Bance has been the star of this team for the entire season. Yeah, they haven't had, the best results. I think he's literally the reason why they've even been able to make the runs they have.
If they let go of, I'm calling this now, bro. If they drop Ben, Toronto's going to drop Charlie for Ben, and Ben's going to go back to Toronto. Just fucking remember this fucking conversation.
Bro, Bance is good.
Toronto, I think Charlie's a solid player, and obviously they won an event with him. But like, I can absolutely see that happening. That would make Toronto better for sure.
Ben is good.
Tom, I don't know what these guys are talking about. Squad wipe the fuck out of these guys.
Squad wipe him, Slade. Trying to squad wipe.
The whole squad, bro.
Pat, what would you do with the team if you say you had a fucking a blank slate, right? Blank team, nobody on it. Who's the first guy you're looking to get? What are you looking to do with the team? You dip it into challengers, dash
Pat
parasite.
I gotta be careful here, Tom, because this would be giving them information that would usually cost them $3 million over 3 years.
Right. You don't know if I want to give it out for free.
But if they're spending that much money, which we know they've spent in the past, I'm going to Pred. And how much money do you want? Who do you want on your team? Blank check. Let's get it done. That's what I'm doing, Tom.
So it's like you're not trying to do anything for free.
No, of course not.
I mean, Chris, what would you do?
You're good at something, Tom. Never do it for free.
Honestly, I don't know. I have to watch the remainder of the Challenger season and obviously see what the rules are and who's a free agent, stuff like that. I honestly don't know what these guys can do, but the one thing I will say is these guys have pretty deep pockets in comparison to some of the lower tier teams. So I think these guys will have options, but
Tom, if you want to pull up a sheet I link, sorry, Chris.
Unless I can get some of the greatest players of all time, I'm keeping at least Bance, unless Bance wants to retire, because I think he's criminally underrated for this team, and I think he is one of the main reasons why this team was anywhere near where they are this entire season. Because
wait, almost everyone's under contract on this list.
There's a number of big free agents, so I'm sending you the time right now. I'm gonna list off the unrestricted free agents for this upcoming.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Off-season.
Jesus fucking flashbang! Everybody be careful.
It's the second tab. So everybody in LA Thieves, unrestricted free agent. Dashy, unrestricted free agent. I think Inder's not a part of Optic anymore, so also unrestricted free agent. Kismet, interesting enough, unrestricted free agent. Everybody on Seattle. Yeah, but he can talk to whoever now, so he's got some leverage.
He'll get some more money, but he'll resign with New York.
Fame, Real, both free agents. Everybody on Vegas, unrestricted free agent. Now, there are a lot of players with team options, which becomes interesting. As far as we know, I think they have like 14 days after champs to decide if players are going to be fully picked up. There's also that, and I think it's still a thing, like the game launch extension, where you could like partially extend somebody. But yeah, so it's not a super deep free agent class, but everybody on Thieves being able to talk to other teams. Kismet is another interesting one. Obviously, the Pred and Sib thing. And Dashi are all interesting potential pieces of some teams here. And obviously, if like Rocker decided to not pick up options on any of their players and they're just like a free roster.
Look at all the. That's crazy.
Am I crazy though? I don't feel like any of these teams are going to offer the Thieves players more money than they would get on Thieves. So I almost feel like it's kind of pointless for them to even be unrestricted free agents. Like they're probably going to get the same amount of money and resign.
The only way that
Thieves might not run it back. Thieves might not run it back with their full four though. They may actually want to make.
I mean, they'll still probably keep like 3 of those guys.
And here's what I know about Thieves. Like I don't think that Thieves is out here with the highest contracts in the league. As far as I know, they run things there. Like they're somewhat not like amazingly cost conscious, like Vegas level, but like they still pay good. They don't pay as well as say like Atlanta FaZe or Optic by paying their players.
But let's look at this realistically. Pred goes to Optic, Hugh gets dropped, Dashy gets a new contract. That's Optic, okay? Like, what do you do? I mean, what are the Thieves players gonna do? Like,
they're fucked.
I'm saying, like, you're not going to FaZe, you're not going to Optic. why would you want to go to any other org on the list? Like, you might as well just resign.
Yeah, who would you even get rid of? Because you said I'm gonna assume that at the bare minimum, Octane stays or is like 100% safe. Obviously Kenny, I think, is one of those star players that he's a part of the like LA Thieves fam and stuff like that, but he's obviously been pretty lackluster for the majority of the season. So then maybe he's also considered for replacement. But outside of that, like, who would they get?
Why I see somebody in the chat saying Kenny retired, and I saw somebody on Reddit saying that too, that Kenny's gonna. Why are people saying that? Kenny's not retiring. I don't think Kenny's gonna retire.
Why would
he retire?
Kenny retire?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people say that.
I'm confused here. Why did Florida give Brack a 2+1? Why did Boston give Beans a 2+1?
I don't know, bro. I
don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they're giving out 2+1s like that. They're tripping for giving out 2+1s like that. They're tripping.
I mean, your only penalty. I don't know what those players like out clauses are. Like maybe you're just 60 or 90 days of salaries to get out. So it's like it's kind of iffy. But like, yeah, they were thinking those players gonna be better than they ended up actually being. You know?
No, not Bluna. Bluna said nobody said that. No, somebody just said it in the chat. Kenny's gonna retire, and then I saw it on Reddit too. I'm telling you, but I swear on everything I love, I saw it. I don't know why.
Call this out because, as you know, I'm a very active chat reader during the flank, and I saw, am I faded for thinking Sib and Pred to New York for Kiz and Priesta? Yes, you are completely fucking baked. Kismet is literally one of the best subs in our entire league.
He's godlike, bro.
Unless he's godlike.
He's what you want on your team in terms of like unselfishness, and he'll do whatever he's got to do to get the W on top of having that pop-up potential at times.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's 99 Ks.
I take this might seem weird, but if I have any superstar SMG, let's say Shotzi, Fred, Hydra, whoever the hell you want to pick, like mega superstar Slayer sub, I think Kismet is literally the best secondary sub in our entire league at this point in the game. In our CDL, I think at one point it was Simp, but I think the way Kismet played this year, I think he is probably the best secondary SMG.
I think Chris is
out of the entire year.
Still is my second, but Kiz is up there.
Okay. This year it's Kismet. This year it's Kismet. It's more than Simp, in my opinion, just from watching, like pure watching.
There's an argument. I don't know if I agree with you. I just think for New York, if they get anything worse than top 4, maybe they make a change. I just think sticking is going to be their best path forward. I think this team's got like a lot of really good chemistry as a squad. They've had some weird up and downs this season, but they seem to be peaking right now, and they're doing it at the right parts of the season. If they get like 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, like I would not change his roster whatsoever.
If I'm New York,
like a
though,
really weak player here.
If I'm New York, I have a convo with Octane.
No, here's what I would do if I were New York. I actually think the move they would make if you're sticking is you should pick up a Booza. You should instantly be the first person talking to him and do a Paco. God forbid you want to hedge if something gets fucked up during the middle of the season. You need to make a change. Have that guy on lock. Even if you maybe aren't going to use him, he's a potential like asset trade piece. You want to try and get a sub player from another team, I think that would be a better sub than Wardy, who seems like isn't really going to play for them.
Did you say New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I could see that too, just because Booza
you bring him over, you get him in a good challengers team, you get him housing, really get him comfortable with your squad. You can learn lessons from like Paco, and like he can mentor him a little bit. That actually seems like would be a really smart play. And Caesar's in the chat. I don't know. He can learn from Caesar too.
He said, "Hey, fuck you, Pat. That's Caesar."
What do you mean Bueno. He can learn from Caesar? He would be replacing Caesar. Abus is an AR.
I don't think he would replace Caesar if that conversation came up.
Guy's the main AR.
It doesn't matter, bro. There's no such thing as a flex anymore. You pull it out for 2 hills, and I think my dog can pull out an SMG and be effective in a corner-to-corner hill where everyone's flooding.
I think he would replace Caesar. Either way, I think New York, they obviously re-signed Kiz, but I think they have a combo with some of those players on the Thieves. If they have the money for it.
They're going to chat. There might be a weird super team opportunity there again, because everyone in Thieves can talk to everybody. But I think New York will, unless they bomb out of this tournament, I think sticking is a very smart decision for those players. That'd be the best chance of winning going forward.
But what do you guys think about a team of like Bam, Kismet, Paco, and I guess maybe Draza? I don't know.
Well, that would have to be in New York, right? Because they're not.
Yeah. I'm assuming
zero
that.
chance they can buy out Paco from New York. Like,
Well, I mean, when you have the star, you go to the Stars team. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Draza
that
to
would-
Optic? Can you see that happening?
Oh man, Draza Optic
No.
for who? For fucking Jesus Christ, that'd be hilarious. I mean, the Optic situation's interesting, right? Like, you know, they're not gonna drop Ant. Bruce is a free agent, but expect him to re-sign with Optic. I think you probably want to keep Dan. I think you would have a number of things you would have to solve if you let him walk. Like, it's not the worst idea, but
I could see a world where
I could see Envoy coming in for fucking Kyler if they don't get pred.
I could see a world where if
He's on his bullshit right now.
I could see a world where if Optic doesn't place too well, but and they go out and make changes, I could see a world where if Dan isn't offered by another CDL team, maybe at worst Dan gets put on the bench. He'll still be on Optic, just on the bench as a reserve and just in case, and then maybe they try to go after somebody like Octane or even what you said, maybe Draza. I could see a world where that happens if Dan doesn't play well or they place terrible, because yeah, I think Dan brought a lot to this team. I've been a big fan of Dan this entire time, but if he's not putting up good performances on just like Hook isn't putting up good performances and they still struggle, I could see a world where maybe they consider not fully keeping him on the team.
Bro, then he's gonna go to Thieves. He's gonna beat them. It's gonna be fucking hilarious.
I'm just saying there could be a world where something like that potentially happens.
Shit, bro, like they have a player. I think they should be very patient with Dan. I think letting him walk is gonna be a massive mistake because I think that guy's got upside. I think slaying at this level, like, is an elite level, is something that we're still gonna need to figure out with him. But like, what they need from someone in the AR role in terms of communication, helping with decision making, like they're gonna have to get someone in to replace that. It's gonna be difficult.
There's also people in chat that are saying there's no shot that Dan doesn't get picked up. It's not so much if Dan doesn't get picked up. I think Optic would 100% accommodate him if he decided, let's say they were like, okay, we're gonna try a different direction, but we can keep you as a sub. Let's say Dan does kind of get put in that position where it's like, okay, you can be a sub or you can go somewhere else. If he doesn't get picked up on a top team, will he even want to leave and like give up his sub spot with the potential of him maybe returning to the Optic roster in the future?
Dan?
Yeah.
Dan is if Optic don't want Dan to be in the starting lineup, he's 100% going to end up on a CDL team in a starting spot. Like Seattle,
I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying if he will he leave for a dog shit team or a uncertain team off of Optic's bench? Because if he's on Optic's bench, maybe he gets put back in later. That happened with Draza on the LA Thieves roster a long time ago, where he was in that whole limbo during Cold War, whether he was going to be on the team or not.
It gets complicated, Chris, if like it's a difference of like close to the minimum for Optic on a bench salary, or someone's offering you low six figures or like high five figures.
I mean, there definitely is that conversation.
Problem.
I'm just saying that's also a point that
no, I agree with you. Like this is like kind of strat that some players should think about, is like the bench spot's not that bad in the beginning of the year if you think a team doesn't have upside, because you can get back in. The only problem is you don't really gain a lot in the salary end in that situation. You're just trying to guarantee a spot on a good team and use that to leverage a good offer in the offseason. It's a risk.
Yo, Tom, what are Bloods talking about?
Bloods?
Yeah, what are Bloods waffling about? You not seen that?
How are we waffling about? You're one of those.
I've never heard you say Bloods. I've never heard you say Bloods like that.
What is Blood waffling about? Nah, but what are you talking about? You're one of those people that's had that conversation.
Tom, what are these guys talking about, bro?
I don't know. My bad, Gangy.
Pat's been one of those people that has said that Dan might not be on this roster at the end of the year. So I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, bro.
I don't think he would be.
I don't think he would be. Let's go into the next question. Let's hop in. Actually, we got a hot take coming in because I asked for questions and hot takes. Some random noob. Thank you so much for your comment. Optic will go up 2-0 in a series against Boston, and then suddenly Awakening feels ill and can't continue the game. Just when all hope is lost for Breach, Doug Censor Martin will descend from the heavens to take over for Awakening and wins the next two maps. Mercado S&D Game 5, Round 11, Doug will hide in the rat spot in the B-bomb site and gets a huge 4-piece and complete the reverse sweep, thus cementing himself once and for all, us as a true Call of Duty GOAT. What do you guys think?
User disconnected from your channel.
Who the fuck left the channel, bro?
Yeah, then I woke
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Somebody left it. Was it Ben? Ben just fucking dipped out.
Nah, I think his internet disconnected.
Oh, it's Chris, brother. Yo, Slay, what do you think about this hot take, Slay? What do you think about this?
I mean, I could see one of them falling ill and Doug stepping in, but I don't think that situation will play out.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, folks. I don't know about that one. But thank you so much, some random noob, for the random hot take. Let's go on to the next one. Kind win.
Your channel.
What should happen to Nero and Vivid after the Boston situation? I don't see them sticking around. Me personally, I think they should stick together. They were one of the fastest sub-duo in a game and played off each other well. But people also are forgetting that they almost brought down LA Thieves and Vanguard Champs round 1, but also had a good placing with Beans top 4. And we saw what happened after they both got replaced. I truly think after Pred, Sim, Mac leave Seattle, they should join Accuracy or any other team that has a good leader and make them unstoppable. Thoughts? Well, unstoppable, I think, is crazy. I don't know about unstoppable.
I don't think no matter where they go, they'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know about unstoppable. I don't know about that. But I do like the Nero and Vivid sub duo. I do think that they were a good sub duo. I see Benji Nassim right now pondering. He's got his thinking face on. What do you think, Benjay? What's on your mind, Ben? Talk.
I think the Nero and Recess Nations are either Seattle or Rocker. Is it together? I don't know. It's going to really depend on. Like Lamar might be, and Mac might be the only players left on Seattle, or will Mac even be there? And then Rocker, I don't know. I think both have had positives at point this season, but they're both, solid but not amazing subs. And we'll see if there's some more high upside players that take those spots.
If Seattle doesn't have anyone under contract, so if they lose Pred, I feel like they should hit the drawing board and start over completely.
I agree, but we'll see what they do.
I think both Nero and Vivid are both league caliber players. I think both of them, if they were on better teams, would play better, because I think they're both like those impact players that kind of just like rely on their teammates to make the more heads up plays while they're kind of just causing havoc and applying pressure. But they haven't been on teams with those types of players in their careers thus far. But I don't know where these guys land, let alone together.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about I can see them sticking together, but I don't know what their relationship is like. I feel like the culture in the camp is a little bit off. Model Slay, look at that form, Slay. Jesus Christ. I'm not really too sure what's gonna happen to Vivid and Nero, but I would have liked to see this duo continue to play out with Boston. I think they need more impact.
Whoa! You guys think this duo should stick together?
No. I'm saying that this duo was definitely an impactful duo. I feel like Boston took their impact away. I feel like this duo
what was their impact?
They actually made plays. They weren't afraid to die.
Yeah, but like what?
That's an impact in itself, right there.
They were on them two were on the team when Boston got their highest placing.
When they got
like fourth in like a bracket run, bro. Let's drop this favorite best placing thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like they both have had some nice moments in the CDL, but it's like they should go their separate ways, and they can both be.
Well, I'm not saying they should necessarily stick together. I'm saying like I wouldn't be mad.
I was confused because I'm like they should not stay together as a duo.
Yeah, in terms of staying together, I don't know about that, but in terms of them on Boston this year, definitely felt like Boston could have made better decisions with the roster. But we can move on to the next question. Move on to the next one. What were the funniest squads you guys were ever a part of? I'll go first. Bro, my squad with the Euros with Scraps and Trey and MC and that squad was fucking hilarious. That's definitely one of my funniest squads I've ever been on. That squad was absolutely comedy. A lot of laughs for sure.
The MC Matty combo was fucking.
Yeah, it was interesting.
T1 comedy in the beginning.
I have the funniest team. My funniest team was Unite and Black Ops 2. It was me, Nameless, Embos, and Ricky.
Jesus Christ! Jesus fucking Christ!
Everyday comedy scrims, couldn't take him serious. It was fucking hilarious, dude. Funniest team by far.
Slayer, you got any squads that were funny, or were you all strictly about business?
Funny. Let me think. I mean, a lot of my teams, Tom, had amazing laughs at COD Champs every year when we ended Optics run year after year after year. We had great laughs. We were very vibey.
Oh,
Tom.
yeah? You were laughing a lot, Slay?
Yours had to be the Cloud9 roster with Andy and Rick. Dude, Andy.
Yeah, that team was pretty funny.
Andy is probably one of the funniest people I've met in gaming through COD. He is actually hilarious. And for those of you guys who don't know Andy, he's that's Lacefield. He's comedy.
And what was the funniest team you've ever been on?
Brother, pass. What?
All right, let's keep it going. The player with the most pressure on Thieves going into champs is easily Kenny. He has probably been their worst player this season, or at the very least, the most inconsistent. Him playing great is the difference of them being top 3 or top 8. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Ben?
Yeah, I think so, but I could see. I don't. Thieves is such a weird team, bro. I don't know what happens to get top 8 this tournament. I don't know who stays or goes. It's definitely unpredictable.
Yeah, Kenny's had a very inconsistent year. He's had a lot of rough series. He's had a rough year. He's had moments where you see that Kenny come out, but you know, he's definitely, I mean, I'm sure you can ask Kenny and he'll probably say the same thing. That probably hasn't been his best year for sure. But Pat, what do you think? You think if Kenny pops off, that LA Thieves will make a run?
I do think he's their X factor. I don't know how much pressure he really has on him though, because like he's getting on a team even if he goes to champs and drops like a 0.4. So
all right, well, there you have it, folks, and then we can we'll do like 1 or 2 more. If Optic or FaZe don't win champs, the Optic team will be Dashy, Cell, Pred, and Shotzi. Ben immediately not liking that one.
Well, Ronnie said below hot take for a reason, so I don't even think he has confidence.
That shit's not hot. That shit is literally ice cold, bro. That's just straight out the freezer.
That team would be a disgusting team. I don't see that happening. I don't see MC dipping from the certain situation that
he's just putting something up there for LOLs, bro.
Yeah, he's also under team options, so they're probably just gonna pick that up anyway.
Alrighty, and then let's move on to the next one. Do you think our city deserves a spot next year over the Challengers talent? Because I definitely do not. What do you guys think?
This is what I've said, and people were questioning me on Twitter. Accolades in this day and age carry you only so far. Yes, I think Alec has had a lot of success prior, but look at the teams he's been a part of. He was a part of the United roster. He was a part of the FaZe Dynasty for a while. After that, I feel like whenever you get put in these adverse situations, I feel like that's kind of where you sink or swim, and that's kind of where you show your true colors, not necessarily.
Well, shit, that boy is drowning.
I just think that I don't know if he solidified. That's why I said whenever that Vickle argument.
Yeah,
I think Vickle solidified his spot in the CDL this year in terms of at least being on a team. I don't think with the way Alec played and the way Alec handled the situation, regardless of what he was doing and going through, that he solidified his spot on a team. I don't think if I'm other teams, sure I might consider him, but he's definitely not my first option. At least if that were me. And I love Alec. I think he's a great person. I think he's definitely very storied and accoladed, but I'm just being realistic here.
I don't know. I think he might get a spot. I think he'll get a spot.
I'm sure he can. I'm just saying, is he my first choice?
No, but
even if he's getting a spot, he's taking a pay cut and he's on a bottom team again.
I agree. If he finesses onto a top team somehow, like that is respectable, because I don't think the performance he's had this season would dictate that. I think he's going to get one shot on a decent squad. I think Boston as sort of like a potential opportunity for him to like bring something there and get a rebound in a comeback season could be a really interesting opportunity if that happens.
But that's why I'm saying this, is because you saw how he was and how he acted. And yes, I get it. You were going through things and you were not happy with your roster. But I don't think you're getting on a top team again, which means you're probably going to be on another similar team where you have to rise to the occasion and you have to elevate your team to that next level so you don't fall into that top 4 again. And you didn't do it this year. You caved. And granted, I get it. Like, I've been in that situation too in my career. But there are people that rose to that occasion, and they tried, they kept fighting, and they were able to get some sort of results towards the end of the year, regardless if they didn't qualify. There was people on Vegas who tried to make that miracle run. Even Florida was trying to make some sort of miracle run, while LAG as a whole, not saying, I'm not just blaming Alec, they fell flat. So you give Alec one more chance. I don't think he gets on another team. I think he's going to get on mid-team, see what he can do. But if he does this again, where he just collapses and just gives up, or has that sort of excuse again, I think that's probably it.
I agree. I think this is a big opportunity for him, because I don't know what's after this. He's going to probably get on a decent or a bomb tier squad, and he's got to step up to the occasion, or it's going to be and further down the spiral for him.
Here's another hot take of Kenny retiring. I know there's a guy in the chat saying nobody's saying that. Well, here you go. And it's got 11 thumbs up as well. I mean, I know it's a hot take. I don't know why people are saying, I don't think Kenny's going to retire personally. I think he's going to keep playing. But let's move on to this one. This will be the last one.
Let's talk about the back end of that, though. I want to keep saying this about, be very careful here. Pred's got representation that's pretty smart as far as these things go. I don't think he's going to insta go to Optic and not listen to any of the offers. So just be very careful about this Pred situation, because I think he's going to take a lot of meetings and it's going to drag out, and he's going to control a lot of roster mania, because I think he's going to be the first domino to fall. And don't count out the Thieves' potential opportunity if the Optic thing maybe has some murkiness, maybe salary. I don't know.
You know, I could definitely see maybe. I agree with you, Ben. I agree with you. I think there might be some
Optic or bust, and like I see the Optic opportunity is great for him. Not saying it's not. I'm just saying he's going to evaluate all these opportunities.
Wait, I think
time to pitch.
I think there is a realistic world where Kenny either retires on his own accord, if let's say he's just kind of sick of it because he hasn't played too well this year, and maybe he's just tired of it, right? Or maybe he doesn't play well again at Champs, and the team doesn't want to play with him anymore. And then he's either, okay, do I really want to go out there and try to find a new home, new team, or am I just going to stick with Thieves as, let's say, content or some other thing? Because I think they'll take care of him. I think he was obviously on that.
Kenny is not retiring, bro.
There is a world where stuff like that can happen.
Bro, he's not going to give up like $300,000+ next year, bro.
I'm just saying there's a world where something like that can happen, and maybe he decides to stay.
Retiring, bro. I don't know where this is starting.
This guy is not giving up.
Say it, bro.
Hundreds of thousands of
Chris,
dollars.
he's not retiring, Chris. He's not fucking retiring. Let's move on to the next one. Do you think anyone actually cares about game integrity? We love to complain about the recent games being broken, but instead of leaving it to the side, we incorporate it into the gameplay, which then ruins the competitiveness. Snaking is at an all-time high. We used the force in Vanguard. We wallbang buildings in MW2. We were able to look through doors that weren't open in Vanguard, etc. Seems like pros pat themselves on the back for not tuning their gun, nor using the stairs glitch, so they think it is possible to break the game in other ways.
This is Slasher. Slasher's been arguing some version at this point on Twitter pretty much all year of like just the way that it is right now. Like people are going to use all the cheese available, and that's why you can't chase Snake anymore. Blah blah blah. But like Chris and Pat, I'm curious your thoughts.
Use the force at Vanguard. Use the force at Vanguard.
No one cares about game integrity. People care about making money. Very simple.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like now, especially, the pros don't give a fuck. I've seen Slasher talk about it a lot, but people don't care. I mean, I'm sure there's certain things that are GA that certain people care about, but when it comes down to it, bro, somebody's gonna stair glitch at Champs, or somebody's gonna do fucking something, and all hell is gonna fucking break loose, bro. It's gonna break loose, and a whole bunch of problems. Yeah, a whole bunch of problems are gonna happen. You guys agree with that, Chris, Ben? You agree with me and Pat?
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Pred has unbelievable raw talent, but gets no slack for baiting his team 24/7, especially in S&D. If Seller Ghosty was doing that shit, people would be flaming him. Do you guys think?
I don't think Pred baits his team at all. I think Pred literally goes in first a lot of the time. I think he's often the one making the play. In Search and Destroy, that guy is absolutely baked. In terms of engagements, I'm fairly certain that Pred probably has the majority stake in their engagements in terms of their respawn performances. This has got to be bullshit.
What? What's bullshit?
What he's saying. It's complete bullshit. I think people are just looking at the fact that he's performing really well in a dog shit team, and they're doing the Celium take where they don't actually understand what they're looking at, and they are just making an assumption based off stats. How does this guy have a 1.2 and his team isn't winning? How does this guy have a 1.2 and his team is placing fucking whatever? He's literally a hard carry. His team is dog shit. Actual dog shit. He's not baiting people intentionally. His teams cannot shoot back. They're not doing damage. Look at their damage stats. They're not hitting the opponents. They're not engaging as much as he is. They're just bad. Their team is bad.
If FaZe don't win champs, does the trio break up?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they'll stay together. Now with the consistency they've been showing, I don't see that trio breaking up. But that was like the last question there that I saw. You guys all agree with that? No, I'm just gonna say no.
What was the last one? Sorry.
Will FaZe break up if they don't win champs? Will the trio break up?
No.
All right, and then last thing I want to just do is just go over some of the comments about our tier list. Pat, I know you got to head out soon, so we'll try and get through it quick. I love how they have FaZe number 1 because of the standing, but Optic is second with no event wins. Half the league is online, and it seems like they don't consider it at all.
No, we don't. Very simple. No, we don't consider online at all.
Online is just, I feel like they play a whole different game online, to be honest. I feel like it's completely different.
Especially this year.
Nobody ever,
I feel like fucking bad.
The reason FaZe is number 1 in the standings is not because of their online. It's because they're getting 4, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, whatever the fuck they're getting.
Averaging a grand final. It's very simple.
Seattle and Cancun and Boston and C, despite getting 50 points on land the entire year, and 40 of those were in major threes, insanely faded to me. At least Seattle made runs in winners bracket. They are smoking the good stuff. They are smoking the good stuff.
What is that guy smoking?
I don't know, but yeah,
Seattle has only beat LAG once on land in 2023. Haven't beat any other team. How are they making runs in the winner bracket?
Yeah, Brands bracket in 2022. I don't know about 2023 though.
They literally haven't. Yeah, they haven't been past winners round 1 in 2023.
Oh yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Is that true? Because I think LG made like a winners bracket at one point.
Seattle got all their land points from beating LAG and the first tournament of the year.
Yeah.
A couple people think we're disrespecting New York by not putting him in the S tier.
No.
I mean, I agree with that, but y'all,
no,
whatever.
I feel like the first in A is literally great. Like,
you can't, in my opinion, you just can't place the way that you did the majority of the year and have that many consistencies. And just because you showed up in 1-2 tournaments, like all of a sudden you're just S. Your consistency factor is not there. You have an A tier floor with an S tier ceiling.
There you go, Bulldog. That's the tier list we got right now. What do you think about that, Bulldog? We got Kismet in the chat. He said
I tried to put you guys in S tier, but
he said where we at. He said where we at. Kismet, what do you think about this, Kismet? Are you pissed? Are you fucking pissed off about this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's going on, Bulldog? What's going on, bro?
I mean, they're second on the
reason
list.
why we put y'all, the reason why we put y'all on the second on the list, top of A. The reason why we did that, Kismet, is just because of the ups and downs, the roller coaster, the ups and downs, FaZe's consistency. Number 1 seed. That's why we had him at the 1 seed. What do you think? You think we're faded? You think we're smoking a good shit, Bulldog, or what?
That fine Pine Park, baby.
Fine Pine Park. It's what I'm talking about. I get the show is a part/signed to FaZe, but come on, laugh my ass off. NYSL are clearly S tier. They're the only team to win 2 majors.
Lord.
It doesn't matter. It's not the only qualification as to what makes you. It's a report card of your entire year.
Bro, if someone got 12th, 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 first, like, it's the same shit. Like,
yeah, I don't know. There's
won 2 events. Like, you still got to take it all into consideration.
Also, who the fuck is ZooMaa 1234? I always see people trolling ZooMaa 1234.
He's a Reddit troll, bro.
Who the fuck is that guy, bro? I always see them talking about this shit. But yeah, listen, that's gonna do it for us on today's episode of The Flank. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely want to get some more episodes in. I'm not really too sure if there's much else up until Champs, so just stay with us. Obviously, Champs is right around the corner. What's the date for Champs, Ben?
It's next Thursday.
Thursday, so it's coming up, man. So expect another episode next week.
It's literally 7 days from now.
Yeah, in 7 days. So expect us to be back in a week. I Call of Duty Champs live from Vegas. I'm going to be live every day, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Wednesday, probably with a test stream in the Tom and I tried to do a test stream in the morning last event, and we waited around for hours. So we're just going to do it probably in the afternoon on Wednesday. Probably like fuck around. I don't know. Do a bracket or some shit, whatever Tom and I usually do.
Yeah,
on the Wednesday test stream.
For sure. Ben, why don't you sync us out with a little putt here to end the show?
Give me 1 second.
You don't get the putter? This guy's fucking costing us, ladies and gentlemen.
Golf bag. I'm sorry.
Oh, gee, and then he comes back to tell me that it's in his golf bag. All right, Slay, is he sinking it? Is he missing it? What's going on here?
Wide left. Wide left.
I'm thinking wide right. I think he's gonna shank it. What do you think, Chris? I think he's gonna choke. I think he's gonna choke today. He's hit every single putt for like the last 2 months. I think he's gonna miss this one.
By the way, I got the Yankees putter cover.
That's
Shout
fire.
out Willie Calhoun, flank guest. Had
Willie
a great day at the plate today. Hit a home run. So let's fucking get it.
Willie Calhoun, bang over the wall, boom. Shout out to Willie. You just see him on a flank. He was showing some love. Go Yanks. I know there's a lot of people who don't like the Yanks, but I do. I love them. Go Yanks. You know what I mean? It is what it is, Ben. Fix your camera, step up to the plate, and do what you gotta do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ben Nassim in the building. Got that putter in hand. He's got no slippers on today. He's got his foot. Oh, no, he's got slippers on, I think. No, he's got the slippers on. Yup. This fucking dirty-ass, stinky slippers are on. Hey, Benji. Bro, we got to get him a new fucking putter. This is fucking ball. How the fuck does he keep making it, bro? Now, hold on, bro.
He's got a magnetic ball, Tom.
No. Ben, something's up, bro. Something's up.
What's
Ben,
up?
you want to know how I know something's up, bro?
How is
Because you told me that your putts have been so off every time you go to the course, but for some reason you're just sinking every putt here. Something is off, bro.
I'm just an indoor putter, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Was it? Is it the wind? Is it mental block? Are you mental blocked by the wind?
Bro, it's way hard to putt an actual fucking green. This on a mat.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Something seems a little fishy.
If any golfers in the fucking chat, they'll back me up on the YouTube comments. Way hard to putt in an actual green than a fucking mat.
Let us know in the YouTube comments. But guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites around to go follow at the flank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials. Make sure to go check out Stallions.club. We got a summer drop coming up for Call of Duty Champs. Expect another drop. I saw a lot of tweets on my timeline today. A lot of people are starting to get their merch, and that makes me very, very happy. So make sure to check out Stallions.club and check out the new drop because we're adding some color into the next one. So I'm really excited for it. We're getting a little adding some color. We're getting a little mixy with it. That's what I'm talking about. Stallions.club. Guys, take care. Brush your hair and have a fantastic, phenomenal night. Goodbye. Good night. Take it easy.